Now we are here because I should probably
Now.
unmute myself, right? And everybody else at the same time, but because it's the No Pants Society's Pantsless Podcast, never ever will everything go 100% smoothly. Welcome everybody. My name is Tumala. With me here is the usual suspects. We got Northern Savant, Trevor the Miracle, and Gradigi. What's up, everybody?
Hello.
Howdy.
Hey yo.
Oh man, I know it's episode 12, and a lot of people will look at it and be like, haha, congratulations, 1 year. But shucks me, I guess we should have started with episode 0 in last December, because next month is the 1 year anniversary. This is not it, but it is the 12th episode.
It's a lot.
Yeah. It's
12 episodes.
It feels like we just started this.
Yeah, I still think it's amazing that we're able to get 4 people together every month and do this for a few hours. Because it is still like, when you like just say, oh, we do a podcast, oh, it's just people just get together, like, I like, no. I mean, if I call 4 people and ask them, like, do you want to go out on this and this Saturday and drink beer, all 4 will say yes, and it's in a month, and then nobody will show up after a month, like, guaranteed. That's why I think it's amazing that this, even though this is not the 4 people that's been on every podcast, it's still amazing that every podcast episode has featured 4 people, and sometimes featuring Pikachu when somebody drops off. If anybody is not up to speed what the Pikachu is, I use this picture. It's on Joe's face right now whenever somebody drops off, because it is the perfect picture.
It's actually modeled after my real face. That's what it looks like whenever I shave.
Exactly. All right. So my buttons work. I'm actually really happy about that.
Oh, that's good.
Buttons working is pretty ideal.
It is.
You did.
So last time we spoke about Stadia is a while ago. And I remember everyone kind of left off of that discussion a little bit like, maybe it'll fail horribly when it comes out. And we don't know yet. Nobody knows. Maybe it'll not fail, but I personally don't really think it will. Stadia comes out next week. Unfortunately, everybody who pre-ordered Stadia will not get their Stadia because of reasons. It's weird. It sounds weird to say that because Stadia is not a hardware, right? It's a software. So everybody will get Stadia, but those who pre-ordered Stadia everybody will not get their controller, and everybody will not get their Chromecast, which you don't need necessarily to run Stadia. You just need a screen. That's what they say. But the reason we're talking about Stadia today is because recently it was revealed what the launch titles for Stadia is. And I'm just going to show this. So, 12 games. We're going to have Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which was demoed a lot. We're going to have Destiny 2, which was also like, it's the big selling point, I think, of Stadia right now. And this says Gult. It's not Gult, it's Gilt. Gylt. It is the only Stadia exclusive. It's an indie adventure game. I've seen the trailer, and I remember seeing the trailer and thinking, this looks good, but I don't remember anything about it. So ultimately, it's forgettable for me, and it may or may not be good. We got Just Dance 2020, Kine, Mortal Kombat 11, Red Dead 2, Rise of the Tomb Raider, and then Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and then Tomb Raider Definitive Edition, and Thumper and Samurai Showdown. I personally think that 12 games is okay. I don't care about the games. I care about the performance, and that's what I want to hear from Stadia when it comes out.
Yeah. I mean, none of the games excite me, but you know, the good games will come later if it works.
Yeah, I've kind of looked over it too because I really wanted to get into this like the first week. I want to try it so bad, but there's not really anything on there that makes me want to try it. Like I'm looking at this list and I'm thinking I could probably play Mortal Kombat for a couple hours, but I don't really see anything on there that makes me want to just dive into it.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't see. I mean, I never beat Red Dead, so maybe I would go back to that. But other than that, there's nothing on there that's I'm like, oh, this looks real. This is gonna draw me in.
This is gonna get my monthly money when I could be playing it anywhere else for without monthly money. That's that's kind of like what you have to really weigh out in this situation, because there's none of these are exclusives. So is it worth paying an extra $10 a month just to play a game that you could play without that kind of subscription fee somewhere else?
Yeah, I think it's a good moment for Stadia to be released, since next year we're gonna have the next gen consoles, and it's gonna be tricky for them to sell Stadia when there's better alternatives, more reliable alternatives. But still, even at this moment, I can't seem to figure out who would buy it and think that this is a good like opportunity, because people who play, I don't know, Destiny or Red Dead 2, they probably are already playing it on PS4 or PC, and they don't really need that Stadia for that at all.
Yeah, I'm actually with North on that one. I still don't really know for who this is, especially when you have to buy the games.
Right.
Like for me, like recently, a lot of us, like Sully, North, no, not North, Sully, me, Gorby, and Trevor. I think there was somebody else too. We got Xbox Game Pass. Oh, Joe, you have Xbox Game Pass.
I do, yeah.
Yeah, and that is a service I genuinely like.
Yes, very much.
Yeah.
There are a ton of good games on there.
Yeah, and that is like that for me is Netflix for games, because you pay a flat fee every month, and then you get the games, and it you play those games. And I have never in my life have I installed games, played one time, and uninstalled them this much as with Xbox Game Pass. Like, I installed Shadow of War, Middle Earth. It's like 100 gigabytes. It takes forever. And I played it one night, and I'm like, it's not my game. And it uninstalled it. And it don't even feel bad. It would feel bad if I bought that shit, and it'd be like, it's not my game.
Oh yeah.
It's not the game you want to play.
It's not the game. It's not the game for me. Goddamn, Sully's not here. He's at work, so he can't riff on us. But
yeah, I think that you know, if you have an Xbox or a decent PC, there's no reason you would choose this over the Xbox Game Pass, especially you know, even going just not to the list of games, but purely the price point. They had, and I'm sure it's still going, they had like a special not too long ago. I got 2 months for like $2. It was like $1 a month whenever I signed up. And that week was like the week that Gears 5 came out, and it was the first day I could play it for $1.
I guess we are kind of forgetting about like the people that don't have PCs and stuff. If this works, you know, it's for them. So
I just hope that those same people are also fans of Tomb Raider, because a third or a fourth of this list is Tomb Raider. It has 3 Tomb Raiders on this list, which they also chose not to put them next to each other. I guess alphabetical makes sense, but that's another part of it, is that, like I said, 25% of this list is just Lara Croft.
yeah, it's kind of weird. I guess they made a deal with Square Enix. Yeah, I mean, it looks like they made a deal with Square Enix because I'll pull it up again here. Like Google says that by the end of the year they'll have more games. So we have Attack on Titan 2, Borderlands 3, which is a huge game, Darksiders Genesis, which is a who cares kind of game, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, Farming Simulator 19, which we have discussed on this podcast before.
Competitively.
Yep, we are great fans of Farming
So we're
Simulator
going to be
19.
competing using Stadia.
Yeah. I mean, that's fuck. I'm getting Stadia. I'm gonna get in on that shit.
I still want to actually like see a full esport gameplay of Farming Simulator. I want to see what it's all about.
It's probably boring.
I also want to know though. I haven't been able to find it. Not that I have looked. I haven't looked extensively, but I have looked, and I'm having a hard time finding it.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
But I think that Stadia is going to be option for some people that have hardware that is basically expiring. So you can't play any like newer releases if you have like an old PC from back from like, I don't know, 2010 or PS3. You might want to consider a Stadia as an option, but not right now. I would wait at least to the summer and then think if it's even worth buying Stadia and just wait for, I don't know, Xbox Box or PS5.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. I don't recommend Stadia for anybody right now. Not for a single soul. If you're a tech guy or a tech girl who does reviews or does like if you have a lot of money on you, get Stadia. If you're a casual gamer, don't get Stadia. Not before the other guys have checked it out and make sure it fucking works.
Yeah.
But there's big games here. Like FF15 is a huge game. Metro Exodus is a huge game. Rage 2 is a huge game. I mean, Ghost Recon is a huge game, but it's Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint has probably the most cynical microtransaction store I have ever seen in a video game. Ever. And I mean, if anybody's interested, like you can look this up. Just Breakpoint's microtransaction store. They have 15 fucking tabs of shit that they sell. Every single aspect of that game is monetized. I'm not shitting anybody. You can buy guns, skins, weapons. Well, I said guns and weapons. I mean, whatever. You can buy crafting materials,
Knives.
weapon parts. You can buy fucking booster packs. You can buy helicopters, vehicles. You can buy face paints and camo gear. You can buy literally anything in that game. What you cannot buy is the fucking time you wasted on that piece of shit game after you're done.
Yeah. But I feel like they have to get like FIFA and all of this more like casual games to the Stadia. But I still can't like figure out how they're gonna market it. Like even if they get it working, they're not gonna have like a proper advertisement. Like you can, I don't know, are they gonna put like games like supermarkets so the kids will be like, I wanted this thing here, but we don't have Stadia at home. Like, how are they actually gonna sell it? It just boggles me.
Yeah, I mean the people that ask for it are probably going to be, you know, younger kids that can't afford things. But how's someone not in the know going to understand how this works? You know,
I mean, shit,
Like,
we don't even know how it works.
Yeah, if you don't know about the existence of Stadia or how it's supposed to work, you're probably just gonna not look that as an option and just buy Xbox or PS5.
See, I genuinely believe that Xbox is the best option right
Xbox
now.
box.
Well,
Xbox box.
Whichever Xbox. I genuinely believe it's the best option if you're strapped for cash, because you get the console, then you can buy Xbox Game Pass for the Xbox, and that is the most ultimate version of the Xbox Game Pass, where you get all the games, and then you pay like a monthly fee. It is by far, I think, the best option if you're strapped for cash. Like, because at the end of the day, you have to buy the games on Stadia. So you buy 2 games on Stadia is the equivalent of 1 year's worth of Xbox Game Pass, and you get all the games.
Didn't we do the math on the last episode though? Like, what was it, like 10 years worth of Stadia was like if you had bought a PC?
I think it was like 5 years of Stadia was like an Xbox plus a year of Live or something like that. It was something along those lines.
But
I mean, it's definitely cost effective, but like North said, I mean, how are you going to market this? I mean, how are people even going to like really find out what it is? Because it's essentially an intangible product, because they keep kind of referring to it as that. I feel like they haven't really referred to it as a service enough, like Netflix or something. They keep referring to Stadia as like a thing, like, oh, I'm going to go play Google Stadia, like it's like I'm going to go play a Nintendo. You know, I think that's going to confuse a lot of people, because I know that there's still a lot of older people out there that just call everything a Nintendo.
I feel like what they should do is market it as a like Netflix for games, and
but it's not Netflix for games though.
Yeah,
because you buy the games.
But they should introduce like a Game Pass that would have like a set of games you can play during that month.
Yeah, no shit, they should.
Like
I mean, yes, they should.
Just do it.
But that's like the confusing part. Like, I don't know what part is free and what part is not free. I don't know which games you get for free, if you get any games for free, which games are. And even in this article that I linked to you guys, they asked for the price point, and Google hasn't answered anything. Like, the fucking thing comes out next week, and I have these questions. And I don't know, maybe they've been answered. Who knows? I mean, ultimately, I'm not sitting every day with an RSS feed like for Stadia, like getting the latest, because I'm not getting Stadia. It's weird.
I did see that at the end of this, there's going to be a free version of Stadia next year.
Yeah, I
feel like they're doing this in reverse. Shouldn't they put out the free version first so that people want to buy the paid version? Am I the dumb one?
Look, bro, you don't work at Google, man.
That's fair. Hey, I don't work at Google.
It does seem like bad marketing.
Yeah.
We're gonna make all these guys pay for this, and then a year later, just give it to everyone else for free.
Yeah, I don't really get the logic behind that.
I feel like they're afraid that they're gonna end up losing money, so they have to do it this way.
It's Google though.
If it doesn't work out, they're gonna lose a lot of money.
See, this might be like completely wrong. I feel like they put a price point now, so that they can control how many people get this thing, because it is untested. Like, all the testing Google can do will never be as accurate as thousands of people around the world using this at the same time. So they can get that feed and then do whatever and then put it more out.
And I also think that they want to do like a soft launch, so it doesn't end up like Atlas, for instance, when you can't play the game for weeks because there's too many players, or Tarkov with the same issue. You can't play it because there's thousands of people trying to get on. So they're gonna end up doing like a soft launch, see how it goes, see what needs to be fixed before doing like a free edition of the Stadia.
So they're essentially making people pay to beta test their product.
Yes, exactly.
By if they're doing what, and that makes sense. What you said makes sense. That's something Google would do, is make someone pay to beta test their product.
Yeah, exactly. It's like early access, you know?
Yeah.
Because
go ahead.
Because at the end of the game, at the end of the day, we live in this sort of kind of world these days where companies put out half-finished products, and then they ask like, "Oh, remember, it's not finished, but you got to pay for it." And then we're like, "Oh yes, take my $40 and let me play this game that is complete maybe never, and report bugs," because we totally all do that. Like, with games, obviously not, but I don't know. It feels like Google is taking this. They want to put it out with a price tag so that they don't get 5 million people downloading this shit. Instead, they might have 50,000 people.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised at all if that was the grand scheme behind the paid first.
Because I think Google is a big enough company and recognizable enough that if they put out something for free, they'll just get a huge influx of people. But with the vague marketing, or I mean, at least in my mind, vague, and the weirdness of the entire thing, and like you said, like when you say Stadia, like in my head, I'm also like, oh, it's a box, but it's not a box. It's software. It's a service. Like you can't hold it. Like it's just weird.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. I'm glad it's not just me that whenever they think of it, they think of a console, because I feel like that's how it's being marketed. But
yeah, Stadia comes out next week, so at least next week we'll know. Probably next month is going to be our anniversary episode. We're gonna not have a normal episode. I can pretty much promise you that already, even though I have talked to these guys nothing about it. But we'll probably, if there's anything noteworthy about Stadia, we'll probably open up with Stadia a little bit, talk 5 minutes about how Google completely shit the bed with it or something.
I feel like they're going for like a successful launch, because first impression matters. If it's gonna be like a shit show from the launch, no one's gonna want to get it.
yeah. The only other thing that's interesting about this list is that Borderlands 3 is on it, and it's only been 3 months. So that means I can play Borderlands 3 not on Epic on my PC before the 6-month exclusivity thing is up.
But wait, but it comes out next year, so it could
no.
No, this is before the end of the year.
Yeah, this is before the end of the year.
Oh,
this says these 14 more games added to the service by the end of the year.
So you're gonna get Stadia?
I don't. That's not what I'm saying, but it's. I mean, I probably will, just because I'm super curious how bad it's gonna be. But that just caught my eye while we were talking, that Borderlands 3 is gonna be on there and within the next 2 months, but it's only been 2 months since it came out, and not so we'll still only be 4 months in by the time this drops. But it's not really an Epic exclusive if I can play it on Stadia.
Well, it's not Epic exclusive for like
PC. That's all I mean, is that it's no longer,
because it's not played on PC, so it's only exclusive to PC. But if you can just plug it in,
on my PC though.
See,
I'm gonna play it on my PC.
I think because it was marketed as an Epic exclusive for 6 months, that's what people assume. It's gonna be Epic exclusive for 6 months. Now it's not Epic exclusive for 6 months. Now it's Epic exclusive for whatever, and then it's on Stadia. But a lot of these Epic exclusives are not inherently Epic exclusives. They're just not on Steam. But I know that Borderlands was marketed as Epic exclusive.
Yeah.
Outer Worlds was also marketed as Epic exclusive, and then very quickly they decided to drop the exclusive part, and then they put it on Xbox Game Pass.
I got to play that for $2.
Yep.
And Gorbish played it for $1.
Yep, I bought the game, and then like a day later, you guys are like, "Hey, have you checked out Xbox?"
Sorry.
Brutal.
But yeah, Stadia out next week, and nobody from this group probably will check it out. Maybe Joe, if anybody. I won't. I know North won't, and Trevor probably won't. So that's that.
Unless it works, and then might hop into Lara Croft.
I'll give it a and then I'll play some Tomb Raiders.
All of them.
I'll give it a couple days, and then I'll just play, and then I'll probably pick it up. Just to try it out.
Fucking Tomb Raider is on Xbox Game Pass.
All of them?
I don't know all of them, but there's at least one, I think.
Man, I don't know. Then, like, I don't want to buy it. I don't want to buy Red Dead because I don't. Well, I don't. I just don't want to because I don't plan on giving them $10 for forever. So
I've already forgotten. Like, how does Stadia even work? Like, when it comes to like, what devices can it be played on? Anything?
Any
that
device.
Connect to Wi-Fi,
Yeah.
basically, and it has a screen.
Any screen.
Basically anything. Yeah, that's the only reason that that like the Pro pack, the Founders pack or whatever comes with a Chromecast because you can just plug your Chromecast into your TV and then play through that.
Okay,
But you can play on your phone, you can play on your laptop.
your phone, Nintendo DS.
Yeah, exactly. You just download the Stadia app on your DSi.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
I know that-
honestly, if it works, that'd be pretty fucking cool because, if I'm driving, across the states or something, or say my girlfriend's driving and I'm sitting in the passenger seat, I can just pull out and play an actually high-end game just sitting there in the car. So I really do hope it works. And if it does work, I mean, I would probably look into getting it. I don't know. That'd be the only situation I can really think of me using it is like if I'm like, at the in-laws house kind of thing or driving long distance or something like that. But
you got to remember that you need a very good stable internet connection. So unless you have like top end 4G or 5G, you're probably gonna have a bad time.
Yeah,
Sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
So even like more reason to don't fucking get this thing before it's been tested. Like, and definitely if your internet connection is shit, then it's completely useless. Because it is streaming games. That is what it does. It streams games. But anyway, let's move on. So, not last month, but we did talk about this a couple of months ago. A very big personality here on this lovely site, twitch.tv, moved over to Microsoft's own streaming service, Mixer, and that was Ninja. It was big news back then. And me and a lot of other people noted that this is not going to probably be the only move we see, and certainly makes sense that other people would also take a deal with various streaming services and just move on, and that is what we've seen. So it was recently announced that Shroud, a person that I actually watched on Twitch, and King Italian, and then there was a third dude, and I will see if I can see his name. When I see that name, I will instantly recognize it. But yeah. So Shroud and King Italian have both moved on to Mixer, and they stream on Mixer exclusively. And Courage is the third guy that I was thinking. He streams on YouTube exclusively now. So we're definitely seeing like a shift. I think next year we'll see a ramp up in this. And I can only assume that Twitch itself has also made deals with Twitch streamers to stay on this site. I know Dr. Disrespect alluded to this. I mean, he'll probably never tell, but he did. There was a clip that went viral where he said, "Imagine if Twitch would pay to me to stay on this site."
Yeah. That was a good impression.
Yeah, it sounded just like him. I thought I was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see
and
that clip. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I just know that like the bigger streamers definitely can and do negotiate. Like, for us, we get 50% of our sub fees or of our subs, but I know that bigger streamers can and do negotiate better sub fees, sub splits. So, you can get that up. I mean, just thinking about it, even an extra $1 per sub, that's, tens of thousands of dollars for someone like Dr. Disrespect. So tens of thousands every single month. It wouldn't take much from Twitch to get someone like that to stick around.
Not to mention the flat flat cash sum money thing that they give. Here's $10 million. Please stay on our site.
Yeah. I was gonna say I didn't see the clip where he did the hypothetical, but I did see a clip of him basically just outright saying like, "I'm not gonna move to Mixer. I have no reason to move there," and
Yeah.
whatnot. So.
Yeah, I saw that too. I think that came before he. And I
Yeah,
mean,
it was,
with
it was
the
like
doc,
right when Ninja left.
yeah. But with Doc, like he says a lot of things. He streams a lot of hours. So I mean, what is a joke and what is not a joke? I don't know.
Right.
But
it's tough to tell where the doc ends and whatever his name is begins
Guy
on
Beam.
a lot of that stuff.
Literally,
Oh.
his name is Guy Beam.
Guy, that's what it was. I knew it was something like super generic sounding. It is Guy, yeah.
But there's this, and this is what I didn't know. There is this company called Loaded, which essentially they represent streamers, and they represent a lot of Loaded. Particularly, they represent pretty much all the big guys on in the streaming world. And apparently, according to Slasher is a personality guy who is very heavily involved in esports and the games industry. He leaks a lot of stuff, and usually he's right. He also knows a lot about the stream sphere, I guess. But according to Slasher, nearly all of Loaded's clients are negotiations with different streaming sites, including Twitch itself. So I can only assume that next year we'll see a ramp up in more people moving and some people obviously staying. And yeah, it seems Microsoft at least is serious about this. Poaching Shroud was a very big deal, I think. And King Ithalian is not a small streamer, not even mid-tier. I think he's pretty huge, but both of them moving was a clear indication that this is going to ramp up. Twitch will be on top for several years likely. I do agree with that statement. I think Twitch will be on top only because Twitch is so huge. And they do other sorts of deals, like showing NFL games and showing NBA games, I think, and having other things. Even the President of the United States streamed on Twitch.
Yeah, too much goes through Twitch. Twitch is too big to fail at this point. I mean, there's all of that stuff, plus on top of all that being owned by, the first company on track to be worth $1 trillion is, owns Twitch. So it's only going to die if they want it to.
Whoops. I'm pinging wrong people in my own chat. But yeah, Twitch is not going to fail. That's not going to happen. If more big streamers are moving, Twitch can always do the same thing that YouTube has done. Get corporations on board. I think, like, shit. When are we going to see the first late night talk show on Twitch, for instance? Why wouldn't it be here? Why would not fucking Stephen Colbert has his own late night talk show on Twitch? Or anything else. Like, we already have sport events that you can watch. And I mean, with Donald Trump live streaming one of his rallies, when do we see other political figures do the same thing from around the world? It doesn't need to be like American bound.
I think I also saw like a EDM concert from like Australia or something like that. That was pretty neat.
Yeah, I mean, why not? And I mean, shit, you can do whatever with live streaming. It's just you show something. Like when is ABC News gonna launch their? I mean, ABC News probably has a fucking Twitch channel. But when are we gonna see 24/7 coverage on Twitch of news? They already do it on Twitter, but so why not on Twitch? So yeah, Twitch is not going anywhere. Streamers might.
Yeah, I could almost see excuse me, Twitch becoming like too mainstream for streamers, because whenever you're on the same platform, I mean, it's almost like getting to the point where, not yet, but I feel like it could easily slip into the point where we're at on YouTube, where every celebrity, every major station, they all have very active YouTube channels. So like, you used to go to YouTube to see people like us producing whatever they wanted, but now it's such high production. So I could easily see Twitch getting to that point, and people getting turned off of Twitch, because they come on, and instead of seeing someone playing video games on the front page, the only thing they see is a political rally, and then you press the right arrow and it's some ad, glorified as a Twitch stream, just trying to sell you something. So I could definitely see, because Twitch is getting more and more popular every year. More and more people come to Twitch every single year. So I could definitely see it down the road turning into something that people are turned away from, just because of how mainstream all of it is.
It's kind of ironic, like when Twitch is turning away from gaming, when they originally started as Justin TV, when it was everything and everybody, you could do whatever, and then gaming became a big part of it. So they decided to split off gaming from Justin TV and create Twitch, which was just for gaming. And Justin TV continued to do their thing, and shortly after they shut the company down. And then Twitch was just gaming. And then they started introducing IRL, and then this thing, talk shows and podcasts and outdoors. You could do, and now it's come full circle. Now Twitch has become Justin TV again, and becoming more and more that.
I think what's going to eventually happen is what happened to YouTube is, like, right now, like we were talking about, like ABC and stuff, they have their YouTube channels, but they don't have anything on Twitch yet that we know of. But the reason is because they have big name advertisers on YouTube, and YouTube's already the biggest streaming thing out there, maybe other than Netflix or something. But so why would they come to Twitch, basically, when they already got, their nest right there? But if I do see companies starting to come to Twitch, like in the future, like slowly going over. But when they start to do that, same thing's gonna happen to what happened to YouTube, is like people that control the ads are gonna start dictating everything that has to happen. More rules are gonna be put in place, and then Twitch is basically just gonna become a shithole. And then people are gonna move to whatever else again, Mixer, and then it'll just happen again and again and again, and then it is big.
We die.
And then we die. Yes.
And then we die.
The ultimate goal of life. But yeah, I understand that, Trevor. Like, because advertisers ultimately will, if they are the moneymaker for this site, they hold all the cards. So they will dictate, and lo and behold, somebody does something on stream which is a little questionable, and then happens what happens with Jericho, and he got completely fucked from all his sponsors. I'm referencing a thing that happened a couple of months when Jericho did a ad deal with McDonald's, and he called the Big Mac the Whopper. Not once, not twice, 3 times.
Live on stream?
Live on stream by accident. And McDonald's did not like it at all. And
how much money did he lose for just saying
so
3 times?
Twitch suspended him from having any deals for the foreseeable future.
What? How can they do that? That doesn't make any sense.
Because McDonald's did the deal through Twitch. And Twitch chose Jericho, that this is the guy that you want because he's very presentable. And then he called the Big Mac the Whopper.
That clip has to be on YouTube. I have to look that up.
Oh my, yeah, I'm definitely gonna look it up whenever we're done. That's too good. He literally had one job, and that was to say Big Mac. Like, he probably could have just sat there and said Big Mac. and then eaten the burger and been fine.
Oh, that's a nice looking Whopper.
Yeah, Whopper.
Ultimately, what happened is Jericho said that his fuck up cost Twitch millions.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah, I bet.
And but that's kind of, for me, it's scary. It gives me anxiety. Like, you being responsible for millions of dollars, you alone. Like, he fucked up. Nobody else fucked up. He fucked up on stream. And his fuck up cost a huge ass company millions of dollars. Like, in any corporation, you'd get fired immediately. Whew. So the lesson here, kids, is don't call the Big Mac a Whopper. Because yeah.
Yeah, I'm watching that later for sure.
I
I don't
want
know.
to see that just so if like people in chat realized it wasn't a Whopper and they're like, you realize that's a Big Mac, right? Or something. And after them, he's like, oh,
he did notice it at some point. I think, at least. I watched the clip once, and yeah, it wasn't pretty. Yeah, I watched more of his like apology. I watched that from the VOD. It was super long when he explained the entire situation and took responsibility for it. Well, yeah. Yeah, streamers leaving Twitch. I mean, I think the landscape will change drastically next year. And if Twitch goes more towards the corporate world, maybe I'll move to Mixer. Maybe this podcast will be on Mixer. Who knows?
Or we go corporate.
Yep.
Twitch, hook me up,
money,
baby.
man.
We need some sponsors.
Give me the millions. I will stay here.
Give me that McDonald's deal. I promise not to call the Big Mac a Whopper. I promise.
I promise not to call it a Whopper.
Speaking of sponsors, I don't know if you want to talk about this right now or not, but we could just all drink Monsters.
Oh yeah. Just have it like on.
Yeah.
Kojima, hit me up, baby. We can do it. Oh man.
That's good.
All right, shall we talk about everybody's favorite company right now?
Blizzard.
Blizzard.
Lizard.
Blizzard.
It's the Lizard Blizzard.
Yep.
What did you, Joe, think about BlizzCon?
For me, I thought BlizzCon was pretty decent. There was a lot of good announcements, and they actually did let people ask Q&A questions with their own voice. They were
impressed.
They had pre-approved questions, but which is fine. I mean, that's pretty normal.
Yeah, they did that anyway, right?
Yeah, but I think like now I didn't watch the Q&A because I don't really care about the Q&A that much, but I watched a clip, and if I'm remembering correctly, I remember them actually, he had a card with the question on it and was like holding the mic for the guy asking the question. I don't believe that's always been the case. I think in the past, it's just been like a mic that people just walked up to and talked.
Yeah. Well,
but
they did have.
If I'm remembering right, and it was from that Q&A, he had like a card, and then he was holding the mic for the guy asking the question.
Well, even with that, that the clip that kind of went a little viral was the kid that was saying
Free Hong Kong,
free Hong Kong or whatever. Like, they didn't go, oh shit, get this kid out of here. Like, he actually went up to the kid with the mic and was like, hey, what do you got to say? Which was, pretty big deal.
Yeah.
For them to do that, and he said, free Hong Kong or whatever, and they were like, sounds good. But
yeah, when he says sounds good, it's like,
I mean, what else are you gonna say to that?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, I tip my hat towards Blizzard for not freaking out. I genuinely do. I also think that just looking at BlizzCon, not a bad event. Not a bad event for Blizzard especially.
I don't, and I maybe I just didn't hear about it, but I actually don't. I don't think any big controversies came out from this event. I think overall it was a very positively received event. So that's that. I mean, they needed that,
Oh, yeah.
or else
Oh,
they
yeah,
were going to
definitely.
be. I mean, if they had one fuck up, that was going to be a bad time.
Yeah,
But
it definitely was a good band-aid for
Yeah.
this current situation.
I mean, they put out like 2 or 3 full cinematics for a few of their games. They had a few big announcements and stuff. So I think that overall for them it was a very good event.
Did they announce Diablo in the
4.
very beginning?
I think it was the first game.
Yeah, I think it was
that's
the
what I
first
thought,
game.
I just to be clear with everyone, I didn't watch BlizzCon, so
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, I think I'm the only one
but-
who watched any of it.
yeah.
I watched.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I asked my girlfriend because she did marketing for her company for a while, and I was like, "What would you do in the situation like this? Like, you know, if she knows everything that's happened." And I was like, "Would you showcase Blizzard or not Blizzard, but Diablo first thing, or would you save it for like best for last kind of thing?" Because everyone's anticipating. She's like, "No, first thing. You want to get it out there first thing because right away that'll make people just go, all right, we forgive you."
Oh, that
Everything
happened.
else. Yeah,
Totally
yeah.
happened. So before even Diablo was shown, company president J. Allen Brack, he took the stage, and this is one of the it might be the only criticism I have for the entire BlizzCon. J. Allen Brack decided to apologize. Now we all know what he is apologizing for, but the problem I have with his apology mainly is that he never said what he apologizes for. And to make it a little worse, at least for me, is that let's assume that he said that he's apologizing for the situation that happened with BlizzCon. My question is, why do you apologize if you're still gonna have BlizzCon being banned? How can you be sorry of a situation that you made? Like, it's not that you couldn't take it back. You're following your own rules, and you're the one who issued the ban for this player. Now, why are you sorry? Are you not standing behind your actions? Like,
What I got out of it was because didn't they like kind of come back on the ban a little bit more, like kind of be more lenient, just a little bit?
oh yeah, I mean from 1 year to 6 months.
Yeah. So what I got
And they gave him
was
back
he
his
said
prize
that
money.
he said that their initial response was bad, is what I thought he was apologizing for, saying that they overreacted right away, immediately.
I mean, he did apologize for that too, but still,
Yeah.
I think it was a shit apology. I mean, it overall the apology was pretty basic corporate speak. Vague and very carefully chosen words. I mean, and I'm not gonna like keep hammering on this. It went exactly as Blizzard wanted it to be, because every fucking games media news organization, outlet, whatever, had the word Blizzard apologizes. When I can say I'm sorry you guys, and the first question you all should have is, what are you apologizing for? No, I am sorry.
Yeah, but I mean, I think for me that's good on a personal level, but when you are a company, you do have to have that legal lingo. Like, you just have to. Like,
Yeah.
you cannot not do that, because once you say, "Oh, we fucked up," well, then your stocks go down, shit happens, things like that. Like, you have to be vague.
Oh yeah, I
as a
understand
company.
that.
So,
I do understand that. But
Yeah, so I mean, I can't have like ill feelings because he was vague in his apology. Like, I'm realistic. I understand he has to do that.
yeah, I understand too. But my human side still thinks that you can't have it both ways. You cannot be a human and a corporation at the same time. You have to choose.
Well, he was apologizing on behalf of the corporation.
but it still seems kind of weird. Like if you go and break something and you're like intentionally break something and you can go like, oh shit, I'm sorry. Like, but I still was gonna break it anyway. Like, it doesn't make any better. It doesn't.
I mean, the
de-escalate the situation at all.
See, I do understand that you have to think about the stock market or your stocks. You have to think about what, like, because the reality is there was people who like Chad is also saying they were canceling pre-orders, they were deleting their accounts, me included. And so, I mean, they have to do something, right? So obviously, like, it helped show Diablo first, and then go to, oh, we have a World of Warcraft expansion, and then the updates for Classic, and then the Overwatch 2 thing, which I don't know, fell flat for me personally, but I understand what J. Allen Brack did and why he did it. It doesn't mean that I have to think it's good.
No, I'm not saying I think it's good. I think it's reasonable with what he did, the way he did it. I guess the way he apologized.
Oh yeah.
The only thing, like the only reason they've got to be vague like that is because if they say what they did, it very much depends on how they say they did it. Because if they say that it was wrong of us to do that, oh, so you did it intentionally, so you were an asshole on purpose. No, we just overreacted. Oh, you overreacted? Well, when are you going to overreact again in the future? How do I know that you're not going to overreact and ban everybody? Well, hang on now. And then and it just spirals out of control from there. So I definitely understand, why they would keep it on the vaguer side for that.
Yeah. And then if you keep it vague, like some people might have different little like small interpretations of what happened, and then if you just keep it vague, they're just that applies to everyone then instead of the people that think this specific thing, kind of thing. So
oh yeah, definitely.
I will say that the apology and the announcements that they did do did not make people forget, because every time I popped into Twitch, chat was 99% free Hong Kong. Just spammed all on Twitter the whole time. Every time I looked in there, it was more free HK than anything else in chat.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't think people are. I mean, some people are that that forgetful, but I'd say that the outrage has died off pretty completely.
Yeah.
So other than that, Diablo 4 is officially announced, and it's coming out maybe 5-6 years from now.
Yep.
Did anyone else think that cinematic looked absolutely incredible? Like the detail in that like there were several times that I stopped and thought, is that a real black guy? Is that black guy a real person in this? It was mind-blowing the amount of detail in those models.
Listen, everybody listen. I don't care what you do today. You need to watch Diablo 4 cinematic trailer. Remove the name Diablo from it, and it's still as compelling. My fucking god, is that trailer beautiful.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I mean, it's I don't want to call it a cinematic trailer. I want to call it a short movie. Because when you say cinematic trailer, people's like, fuck it. No, short movie. It's a Diablo short movie. It tells a complete story. It is absolutely fucking gorgeous.
Yeah, I mean, it really could play on its own, like you said, without the Diablo name on it. It could still just be its own thing, and you would get a complete story. And so,
I think they're on the wrong business. They should start making movies.
I've been saying that for years. I love Blizzard cinematics. I have been saying they should just throw in the game towel and start making movies for a long time because they are incredible.
I've heard that if they do a full-length movie like those trailers, they would go bankrupt because they're so expensive to make.
Oh, probably.
I don't doubt that. I'm sure that those trailers probably have the budget of some movies.
Oh yeah, definitely. I I don't doubt that.
I bet it's bigger budget than the Who Killed Captain Alex.
Who Killed Captain Alex is something I learned about today when I streamed Legend of Bumbo, which we'll talk about a little bit later. Who Killed Captain Alex is a Ugandan movie made with a budget of $85. And it is absolutely amazing.
$85?
Yep.
That's not the one where the guy is like, "Why are you running?" And the woman's like, "Ah!"
No, not that one.
No.
But it's on that level.
It's masterpiece. I mean,
Who Killed Captain Alex?
the entire movie is on YouTube, and I'm seriously considering having a movie night where we just watch Who Killed Captain Alex.
There's a trailer. They even went through putting out a trailer.
I highly recommend that trailer. It looks fucking bonkers. Holy shit.
Oh my god. All right. Here's that trailer.
What was the other thing we looked? What's the Superstar?
Yeah,
Was it like a
the
music
movie
video or
studio that made Captain Alex also made like this Ugandan tourism video, and it's basically like a Ugandan black dude who has a minigun who shoots off white people, and then they're like, "Come to Uganda." it's
Wow.
oh man. Okay.
We went on a sidetrack a little bit.
It's
Yeah, BlizzCon, amazing. Overwatch 2.
Yeah, Overwatch 2 was announced, and that was a little letdown. But go ahead, Trevor. What do you want to say?
I was gonna say, did you guys see the gameplay that like some of the streamers did?
Oh yeah. I'll actually pull up if there is anybody who's streaming it right now.
Yeah. I looked at
Gameplay one.
what's his name, Riker, I think it's Riker. He's a Diablo streamer. But I watched him play a little bit, and I'm glad they brought the druid back because he was like probably one of my favorite in the second one.
Mhm.
And then what else was I gonna say? Oh, and the boss. They had I guess I don't know if it was the final boss or not, but they had like a boss for the first world that you could fight, and it was crazy to see like how the camera would just like pan out, so your character just gets smaller and smaller and smaller. You're like, oh, what's going on? Why is this doing this? And then you realize that the boss is about 100 times bigger than your character is.
I know from the gameplay I saw, it looks like way faster paced than these type of games normally are.
Yeah, I mean, even like, I didn't watch a ton of gameplay, but even like this, looking at this, it looks like Diablo. And
Yeah, that was another thing. It's a lot more grittier and darker and stuff like the originals. So
I saw a lot of people saying the same thing, and then a lot of counter arguments saying that people remember Diablo 1 and 2 wrong, and that Diablo 1 and 2 also had like these colorful things in them, like Diablo 3 has a lot of more color. I have not played Diablo 1 or 2, so I mean I know how they look in general, but
yeah,
I think this
definitely
looks just like Diablo.
I think that Diablo 1 and 2 were darker and grittier than Diablo 3. Diablo 3, it looks like they threw in more like World of Warcraft style from like the enemies and stuff into it. So the enemies look a little bit more cartoony and stuff. Than the ones, I mean, obviously the 1 and 2, they're more pixelated too, so it's kind of hard to, but my opinion, I would say it's going back to the originals, the 1 and 2.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that, and it may partially be that, like in Diablo 3, you end up going to heaven and fighting some holier figures.
Wow, spoilers.
My bad, dude.
I'm just fucking.
You don't do anything like that in D1 or D2 in the first two games. So that's if I recall correctly. I haven't played it in a long time, but if I recall correctly, a good chunk of the game is in heaven. So it could be that the fact that they happened in grittier areas, and like the most bright thing in Diablo 2 that I remember is just like a big desert. So it could just be that it's, you know, a whole different setting. I don't, like I said, I haven't played it in a long time, so I don't really remember it being super bright. But this definitely looks like Diablo 2 to me in a lot of its feels, just the way it looks and the way it looks like it's playing and the way things are kind of set up.
Yeah, I mean, this definitely doesn't look bad. But a noteworthy thing is Blizzard did confirm that this game is not even close to being released.
Yeah.
Even on Blizzard standards. So when I said maybe 5-6 years, I'm not joking. Blizzard is notorious when it comes to releasing games in a timely manner. And yeah, I might be dead before this game comes out.
Yep. I'll be 40.
I'm kind of disappointed because it looks like every other Diablo game.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't like Diablo games, you're definitely not going to like that game.
Yeah.
I will say another thing was they showed like how the map size is going to compare. So they said that in most Diablo games there's like 4 or 5 worlds or world maps that you can go through, and they said that each world map in this game is 10 to 20 times bigger than the ones in the original, or not the original, but in Diablo 3. And then I saw a guy, all the gameplay that they're playing now is just in a tiny, like little tiny section of the world map, because I saw that they zoomed out from the map. So if this was like the area you're playing in and the entire teaser that they're giving people, the world map was like this big, and you're just playing in this little tiny area like this big.
Huge.
Another thing that was also confirmed is that Diablo 4 will have a microtransaction store. People freaked out about this, but I mean, come on, people. Of course it's gonna have a fucking microtransaction store. Do I like it? No, but I mean, it is a thing that is in every game.
Yeah.
It all comes down to how will they fuck us if they choose to fuck us. They said that it's gonna be cosmetics only, but I mean, same was said for Black Ops 4, and lo and behold, that was not true. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I can see them selling cosmetics, armor sets.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume it's gonna be like Path of Exile.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Hopefully not as expensive as Path of Exile. That shit is so expensive.
But Path of Exile is a free game.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I want a little black kitty cat. Oh, it's $35. Like, Jesus.
Yeah. Well, if the WoW microtransactions are anything to go off of, I'm sure it probably won't be much better. I think if you want to buy like a pet in WoW, it's like $20.
Yeah, but that's nothing. You can hardly get a skin in Fortnite with $20.
The biggest package that you can buy in Path of Exiles is like what, like $1,000, $1,500, something like that. And it's like it gives you just like 2 sets of armor and a couple of pets and some wings or something like. But
I mean,
you're really not selling me on this.
Yeah.
You're a terrible salesman.
Yeah, I mean, obviously D4 is not here. It's not gonna be here this year, not next year, not the year after that. I firmly believe that. Like, I'm not kidding. Even though Chad is adamant about that it's coming out in 1 or 2 years. Nah.
Well, they even said themselves it's not.
Yeah.
So I mean.
Yeah. I believe if Blizzard says themselves that this is not even close to release, then I believe that.
Yeah. Sure.
How about that Overwatch 2 though?
I actually really enjoyed that cinematic as well. And I do like that Overwatch 2 isn't like necessary to buy to continue enjoying the new features that come out. So, because I know that it's every PvP aspect is still going to be free for people, or not free, but like you'll still be able to participate even if you don't own Overwatch 2. So you can play all the new heroes, play all the new maps, have access to all the new cosmetics. Overwatch 2 is literally just the PvE stuff, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I do commend Kaplan for. I mean, he probably didn't do the choices for this, but yeah, there's no, if you own Overwatch, there's no need to buy Overwatch 2 if you just want to play multiplayer. But yeah, Overwatch 2 is essentially PvE content, like hero missions and heroes, like story missions. Apparently this is something that has been asked for from the fans for a long time. I personally never even thought about it. If it's something that people have been asking, then sure, I think this is a win for everybody.
I haven't played Overwatch in forever, but you've played it, Joe, right? Like,
yeah.
Just how did the workshop ever work out? Was that like a successful thing in your opinion, or?
I never used it. I don't know how many people did, honestly. I don't ever remember seeing like any big, whenever something like that comes out, even if you don't use it, you still hear about it. Like I've never played it. For a similar example, I've never played any of the Mario Maker games, which is kind of the same idea. You're customizing the game to play how you want to, but I still see Mario Maker stuff all over the place. And I think like the first week I saw one or two goofy things on Reddit, but after that, I don't think anyone is messing with the workshop. Hopefully I'm wrong, because it seems like a really cool idea, but I don't think anyone is.
I was gonna say it seemed like an idea that would like be awesome, but like you said, I just never, like on YouTube, I never seen like, oh, check out this the top 5 maps or anything like that or whatever. It's like just never heard from it again after they announced it.
Yeah,
I think what they should do is showcase it, like have some awesome creators create something and then showcase it on like BlizzCon. Hey, we have this thing. We had this for a couple months. Here's some stuff that our fans have made. Something like that. It will definitely like spark up people to actually go to the workshop and do stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if the editor is hard to use or something. If it's difficult to use, then because I think they said when it launched that this is not meant for everybody to create things.
Basically, they said that they're like, it is basically programming, so it's not for everyone, but we try to make it as easy as possible so that the most amount of people is able to use it. But
okay. Yeah, I mean, maybe Overwatch just has too many casual players.
In the end, if you just want to play the game, you're not gonna use the workshop.
Yeah.
Overall, I think Overwatch 2 is a win for the consumers, because you don't have to buy it if you have the first game, and you still get all the multiplayer components. So
yeah,
I just hope they don't sell it for $60, but I think they will.
I think Overwatch, the first one, was only $40. So I couldn't imagine. I mean, I guess they could, because they sold Overwatch 1 before they were bought out by Activision, I think. So they have less control over their price point. But I think the first one was just $40.
Other idea would be that existing owners of Overwatch 1 would get the second one on a discount.
I thought they were gonna do something like make Overwatch free and make people buy the second one.
I mean, maybe. I don't think that's a good move, though, because I firmly believe that multiplayer is the way to play Overwatch. Yeah. I mean, you might play the PvE things once, twice.
But it would definitely increase the player base, probably. And if you're like super into Overwatch and you want to do PvE, do it like Fortnite does. PvEs, you have to pay for it. But if you just want to play the game and...
So who plays Fortnite PvE?
I own Fortnite PvE.
Have you played it?
I have played it. Yeah, it's not bad. It wasn't great. I'd rather play just like Orcs Must Die, because that's kind of the game. That's the type of game that it is. You know, kind of a third-person tower defense type game. And any day of the week, I'd rather just play Orcs Must Die.
Did you know that there's a new Orcs Must Die coming out?
I did. I haven't seen anything about it, but I have heard a new one is coming out. And I'm really excited for it. The first two were blast.
Yep.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, I actually liked. I have the second game, I think, and I liked it.
Yeah. Well, Fortnite
Maybe
PvE
we
is
should
just
do
a
like a co
worse.
stream.
Fuck it, if they add like more than 2 people, let's all fucking jump on Orcs Must Die 3, I guess,
Yeah.
or whatever it's called.
Yeah. I think
Whenever
they
it
should
comes
make
out.
bigger maps. I think the maps are way too small.
Yeah. Well, if they up the player amount to 4 people, then they would definitely make bigger maps, I would think.
Yeah.
So Chad is asking, I'm assuming the question is directed towards me, what my opinion is on Jarvis being banned from Fortnite. I've already talked about this on my regular stream. But yeah, I mean, the group can also like obviously give their opinions. So if you don't know what I'm talking about or what Godwing is talking about, Jarvis is a Fortnite streamer, and he got not a streamer. He's a Fortnite content creator on YouTube. He got banned for life because he used aimbot in Fortnite with alternate accounts.
Good.
Huh.
I think it's a harsh punishment.
Oh yeah,
but
definitely.
Still,
Permanently
still.
banned for life. And
mean,
I'm a
still
firm believer that is
cheating.
really fucking harsh.
I like it.
Of course. Burn him, fucking scorched earth motherfuckers.
He definitely got set as an example not to cheat on Fortnite.
Yeah.
But what example does he put? What's the example? There's tons of
Don't
people who, yeah, but there's tons of people who cheat on Fortnite.
Yeah, but he's a social influencer, so
Yeah.
he gets to be an example not to hack.
Yeah,
Tons of people cheat on Fortnite. Not tons of people cheat absurdly publicly on Fortnite.
yeah, but like I said on my own stream, I think context matters a lot. I don't see the world as black and white. I don't think anybody does. If somebody does see the world black and white, then okay, your life is probably way more easier than mine is. He did not cheat because he wanted to be better at or win at the game. There was no malice behind his actions. He wasn't playing a ranked game. He wasn't playing a tournament. He just wanted to make a video for his channel for entertainment purposes only. He says in the video, guys, do not use aimbot. You will get banned. And in the video, he gets banned himself.
Wait, like mid-video?
Yeah, I mean, the video ends and like he gets banned and then he does his outro.
I gotcha.
He does get banned
Okay.
mid-video too, and then mid-video he gets banned, and then he puts his other friend with another alt account to play with aimbot, and then that player gets banned too.
What a jerk.
I mean, it doesn't matter what his intentions were with that because he's still fucking up the game for everyone else that wants to play it. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
see. Like, I don't want to say here that he shouldn't be punished. He should be punished, but I genuinely do not believe that banning the guy for life and ruining his career, which he's making money off of, is the right way to do it. I fucking hate this zero tolerance policy system that so many companies employ these days. Because what they are essentially saying is you are not allowed to make an accident. You are not allowed to make a mistake in your life. And if you do, you will be punished for the rest of your life. I can literally go
that
outside
wasn't
right
an
now.
accident, though. That was a purposeful thing
But-
he did.
Yes.
He cheated
but
on purpose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he's 17, and 17-year-olds are fucking idiots. You know how I know they're idiots? Because me, North, Joe, Trevor, and everybody in chat, you were also all fucking idiots when you were 17 because you're 7 fucking teen.
And I faced consequences when I was an idiot.
Yes, but are you punished?
Absolutely.
Are you punished for the rest of your life?
If I do something
No,
bad enough, probably.
Yeah, it depends on what I did.
I can literally go outside and murder somebody in cold blood, and I will not sit in prison for the rest of my life.
Well, he's not either. He's losing one video game.
Yeah.
He's losing his career. His entire income is tied to Fortnite.
Well,
Find a
it's
different
almost the same thing.
career.
It's almost the same thing as if I work for a company and the company's like, "Hey, don't steal from us," and I go, "Okay, hey guys, I'm going to show you what not to do. Let me steal this computer," and I take the computer and I steal it, and they go, "Hey, you stole a computer, you're fired." Like, okay, well, I was just trying to show everyone that I wasn't that stealing's bad.
Yeah, and you lost your whole career because of it. You lost your job. It's exactly the same.
I just think that punishing him for life is just too harsh. I don't know. I'm just way more compassionate towards other people, it seems.
I'm not saying that I agree that he should be punished for life before you start saying you're more compassionate.
Yeah, I'm being an asshole. I think
that you're blowing it out of proportion. He didn't lose his career. He lost access to one game. If he's a good content creator, he can make money on whatever game he's playing. He's 17. That's legally an adult in most of the world. If he's old enough to make money, he's old enough to lose money. It's his fault. He knows he shouldn't be cheating. He had the sheer balls. I'm surprised he could sit down. He had the sheer balls to cheat and then record it and then upload it where it could be easily found by the people telling you not to cheat.
And it's already stated
did
in the
all
rule
of that and then still thought it was a good idea. Talk shit, get hit. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Yeah, and I mean, look, he should be punished. He should be punished because he broke the rules.
But for life?
Yeah, my only problem.
What's the rule say that he broke?
I mean, he used aimbot.
It says permaban.
Yeah, I mean, of course, Epic can make the rules. Of course, because they do their own rules.
Yeah,
this is just me not thinking that their rules are reasonable. And that's my opinion. Epic doesn't give a shit about my opinion, and nobody else needs to give a shit about my opinion. I genuinely just believe that yes, he fucked up, but he should not be punished for the rest of his life for it. I think Joe's camera just fucking died.
Or he's mad.
Or he's really mad
looking at you.
Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, that's weird.
That was weird.
I don't think punishing him for the rest of his life. I feel like that's because who knows how long Fortnite's even going to be around.
Oh yeah, I mean, definitely not his entire life.
Punished for the rest of his life. Maybe that I feel like that's blowing it a little bit out of proportion that he can't play one game.
Though. He's permabanned. He can never play that game again.
I think
play a different game. There's a million games out there.
Yeah, play a different game. But okay, so what if I lose access to my favorite game of all time because I cheated? I mean, I would be super fucking upset about that.
Then don't cheat.
Oh yeah, I mean, yes, fucking don't cheat. Don't do the things you're not supposed to do. I understand.
And then he did those things.
Yeah, but I mean, this is what I mean. That it's. I mean, you don't have to go scorched earth on everybody who just breaks the rules because they're fucking idiots. You don't have to do that. You can, but you don't have to do that.
I mean, if I drive a car and they say don't drink and drive, and I go drink and drive, well then I can't drive anymore if I get caught.
What are you talking about? Of course you can drive. You lose your license for 3 months or some shit, and then you can drive again like nothing happened.
Yeah,
some people can. It depends on the state and everything, I guess.
Yeah, it all depends, but
yeah.
I mean, I just think that I don't think he should have been banned for life either. I just think you're getting worked up over one guy losing access to one game.
I think if
his career and punishing him for the rest of his life, he can get new careers. He's only 17. Oh, yeah, and if one game is punishing him for the rest of his life, god damn, that's brutal. If that's what all it qualifies is punishing him for the rest of his life, is banning him from a single game in a world where literally dozens of games come out every single week, just make videos about a different game.
Yeah, I would say like your reaction, Tom, it almost seems like they said you can't play any video game ever.
That is
in general.
That is the type of reaction I feel like you're having, is that he can no longer play games.
See, my anger.
But for him, it was the video game. Let's say you can't play WoW anymore at all, ever.
Because you cheated.
Yeah. Because I cheated. Let's make it. Don't leave that part out. Because I cheated.
But now you have to play, I don't know, Final Fantasy 14 or other MMO.
Or fucking...
Or just any other game
Blitzball.
Other than WoW.
Any other of the dozens of games that come out ever. I wish they would ban me from WoW, dude. Are you kidding me, North? I wish they would ban me from WoW.
See, my anger mostly stems from me being opposed to any sort of zero tolerance policy. That is ultimately, you can switch out Jarvis, you can switch out the game to anything else, and I would still be as riled up. Because I just fucking hate zero tolerance policies.
I don't think zero tolerance policies should be in place for like every infraction, but when it comes to gaming, like the top infraction you can do is cheating. That's like the worst thing you can do in gaming is cheating. So that's like the top of the list.
Especially in a game like Fortnite, every game you cheat, you are ruining a game for 99 people. You have actively and purposefully ruined a game for 99 other people.
Oh
and
yeah,
it's a free game. You can just create another account and
he can't
over again.
He literally can't.
Yeah, but he can't. But if he wasn't a public figure, you could do that.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I'm pretty sure they IP ban you though.
If he had just cheated, but then he uploaded it online and then thought for some reason he would be fine, that just seems real dumb. And that's definitely something a 17-year-old, that's the only part that I feel like is excusable for a 17-year-old. Because cheating is cheating and you know it's bad no matter how old you are. From day one, you know cheating and lying are things you don't do. Uploading it onto YouTube, putting the evidence of your crime out there, that's something a 17-year-old would do.
I mean, like we have literally people every day probably filming them actively doing a crime, an actual crime, punishable crime by laws, by fucking filming themselves, beating people or breaking into houses or whatever. I mean, obviously these people are not the sharpest tools in the shed, but and again, like I don't want to excuse him because of his age, but I was 17 once, and my God, I did a lot of fucking mistakes. And I did a lot of mistakes after I was 17 and after I was 18, well into my adulthood. I should be in fucking prison, but I'm not in prison because I was not stupid enough to fucking film myself and upload my goddamn shit on YouTube. Like, because I've been there. I've been making those fucking stupid things. So I empathize with this guy. Like, his thought process obviously was flawed from the beginning. Like, yes, I understand. I'm fucking 30 now. I do understand that. Oh, let me just install this fucking aimbot software here on my PC and let me push record here and do funny jokes and ha ha ha. And then let me go edit this shit and put it up on YouTube. Of course I get banned. I understand that. I understand that before I fucking installed the fucking software. He obviously didn't. Because his thought process probably was, well, I'm just doing this for a video and I'm never going to use aimbot ever again after this.
Yeah.
For me, there's a difference between using aimbot for entertainment purposes and using aimbot to deliberately fuck up everyone else's game and winning. There's a difference between.
And you're fucking everyone else.
I do understand that. I do understand, but intent and context is what I'm after.
Well, then everyone who cheats can just say that they're just doing it for fun.
I understand the flaw in what I'm saying. Which is why I do understand that you can't have fucking context in anything. It needs to be black and white because, I mean, because I want to create a perfect world, and it's not just possible.
I mean, it's not black and white, except in instances where it is, and cheating is cheating. Like that's what he did. And even if it was for entertainment purposes, and he wasn't doing it to advance his own thing, it doesn't matter what the reason he did. I mean, if I just walked over to your house and shot you in the face, you're still dead at the end of it. It doesn't matter why I did it. The end result is still the same. Context in that kind of stuff shouldn't matter, unless, obviously extenuating circumstances, but no one was holding a gun to his head telling him to cheat. He decided of his own volition to cheat. Whether it was for fun or competitively, the end result is the same. He cheated, and he ruined a game, however many rounds for someone else. That could have been somebody's first game, and because he decided to cheat and he killed them and they got mad, they may never play that game again. So, yeah, he got permabanned, but who knows if he could have affected someone else's life in a very similar way, giving them a negative experience with that game, and they may never play it again. It may have been that person's favorite game, but some douchebag YouTuber decided it would be funny to shoot him in the face all the way across the map.
And I do understand that.
Yeah,
I just think that it's very harsh to permaban
players, and not the one guy that was an asshole.
Yeah.
See, I just live in a society where we're not excessively punishing people for nothing.
But they can't
it wasn't for
treat
nothing.
every situation individually. They just have to be like, you hacked your band, because that's just how the system works.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean,
you have to have black and white rules in a society of a mass amount of people, because there's just no way you can go.
I mean, we literally, because we live in a massive society, we have a massive court systems so that we don't have to have black and white rules. I mean, imagine if you kill somebody, and every instance, if you kill somebody, it would be murder, no matter what. That is black and white. It is not like that, because we have a court system that goes through what has happened. So it might be murder, it might be manslaughter, it might be first or second or third degree.
We have black and white rules that dictate what's murder and what's not murder.
Oh yeah. But I mean, I'm going a step ahead of that. It's the act of killing. If the act of killing would always be murder, that would be black and white. I mean, yeah, if you go one layer down, murder is always murder. And then when you go one layer down, you just have these circumstances and stuff. I know that when I cheat, when I install that aimbot program on my computer, and I use that program to kill people in Fortnite, that is pretty black and white. I'm using a program to kill people. I know that's black and white. But the context of that situation, why I'm using that program, should, in my opinion, be taken into account. Why am I doing this? Because he was not doing it for his own personal gain. He didn't want to climb any ladders. He didn't do it to win a tournament or get a spot on a tournament. He wanted to make a video for his YouTube channel, for entertainment.
For his personal gain.
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, you put it that way, I do accept that, of course, because I mean, yes, because he wants to make money off of it. Look, like ultimately where I land is you can switch out Jarvis, you can switch out Fortnite. I just really hate zero tolerance policies. I really do.
So,
yeah, I mean,
but he got banned. You said he kept making alt accounts, right?
Mm.
And he kept getting banned on those?
Yeah, in the video, he gets banned from his alt account that he made for the video. And then I guess he made another one and his friend played on that account until he got banned. And then Epic banned him on his main account. So I assume they IP banned him. So essentially, if he wants to play Fortnite, he needs to move.
he still couldn't stream it, because if it got around, they would still just probably ban him too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if he shows his face.
That's true.
I guess. Cue the no cam streams.
He's getting in on it.
Gotta take a firm stance, to be honest. Yeah, and I understand that. Like, and this is where the difference between like how you personally see situations. I am way more forgiving in these sort of situations. And it might be my flaw. It honestly probably is. And it's not just about like cheating in a video game. It's about everything. Like I think as a society, not just Finland or like the Western world, we just punish people too much. And I think we should punish less people overall. I think, and that's just the kind of person I am. I'm not trying to like paint myself as some fucking tree hugging hippie asshole here, but because I'm definitely not that.
But yeah, we got really sidetracked again.
Yeah.
Sorry for mentioning Fortnite.
Fucking Gotwing, who asked me what I thought about this shit, or effectively of the entire group, but
I have a thing to bring about this, and before we move on real fast, because it's kind of similar, but not really. What's your opinion on? I know people that do speed runs. When they get caught cheating in speed runs, they basically get banned from being able to submit cheap speed runs in the future.
But they didn't. I know of a person who literally did that, and he did not get banned.
Okay, so they don't ban people that do.
I mean,
cheat
it all comes down to the moderators of that particular game. I'm not gonna name.
I'm not a speedrunner, so I don't know all the ins and outs of it. So,
I mean, mostly I believe the go-to way is to. They probably permaban those people too, and I oppose that too. I don't think you should, because you can punish people other ways. Like, give a 2-year ban. 2 years is a fuckload of time. But like the example I gave on stream is there's this American track runner called fuck. Who the
Good name.
Usain Bolt.
No, he's Jamaican.
John Smith.
No.
That's a Jamaican name.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, like even if in like sports, if you get caught cheating,
Justin
you don't
Gatlin.
you don't get permabanned.
Man, that is not what I was expecting.
Justin Gatlin is one of the fastest men alive. Usain Bolt is faster, but Justin Gatlin is one of the fastest alive. He got caught using doping. Effectively, it was amphetamines to boost his performance. He got caught and he got banned for 2 years. Not life, not forever. He's an Olympian. He competes at the Olympian level, the highest fucking level you can go to in competitive track running. And even he violated rules of his sport. He shit on everything. You could go on the sanctity of the rules or whatever. And even he did not get banned for life.
I think he should have.
Well, yeah, and that's the difference between us. That's the inherent difference. Like, you think he should be banned for life, and I just don't.
I mean, he's taken the thing that everyone in that, genre or whatever is like dedicating their lives to, and he's just shitting on it and fucking everyone over. This, everyone that's put all 100% of everything into it, he's just fucking it all away. And you're just like, well, not that's something I'm saying to you, but and then people are just like, oh well, whatever, forgive him.
Yeah,
he can't do it for a year. Yeah, whatever. I think they should be like, oh well, you're gonna do that, well then fuck you, you don't get to do it anymore.
And Olympians are like what, every 4 years, so you can actually run at the next. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, but he misses 2 years of competitive running, which is a huge part of track runners.
Yeah.
Like the only way, but going back to the Fortnite thing, if he had contacted Fortnite and said, "Hey, I want to do this video, I want to use aimbot and show, what it's doing, why people shouldn't do it and whatnot," and they said, "Okay, you can do this," then that's what he should be. There should be no punishment at all. But if he's just doing it on his own and whatnot, then ban him. He's fucking everyone else over. for his own benefit, for his own personal gain, for shits and giggles. I don't care why he's doing it. He's fucking everyone else over.
Yeah, and I do agree with that. He is fucking everyone over. But I do agree that he should not be banned for life. And this is the inherent difference between us as just people. We have just two very different opinions on how one should punish a person for breaking the rules.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I think there is a hierarchy of rules, I do believe. Like, and I do think for gaming or any game, like, sports and things, cheating is basically the worst thing you can do.
Yeah, I mean,
If not, so it's the one thing that I would say if you're going to permaban someone, that's the one thing you're going to permaban someone for. If you heckle someone in a game, I'm not going to say you need to permaban them because they broke the rules and heckled someone, but they should be punished if it's against the rules.
I mean, you get permaban for harassment, name calling, racial slurs. The problem is that I can say a racial slur in a game, and maybe I get banned, maybe I don't get banned. Just if I'm caught doing it. I mean, there was about a year ago, there was a kid who played Dota who got sent to prison for like 17 days because he called somebody a name, and they figured the guy who he said it to, he figured out where the guy lives and said that he's threatening his life. So cops came and took him. I mean, there's bullshit all around.
Well, I mean, if he was actually threatening someone's life, then that's a little bit different. I don't know if he.
I mean, he put JK in the end. But is it sarcasm or not? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, Jarvis can pick up another game, sure. He's 17. His life is not over. I do agree with that. I mean, I get fired up about things, and mainly I'm just fired up about it. It's not Jarvis, or it's not Fortnite. It's not Epic. It's just how we generally overly excessively punish people for maybe not so minor things, but it's still that excessive punishment that we I don't know. It goes way deeper, my opinions on this, than what I because we keep it in Jarvis and Fortnite so much here. The entire thing, I could talk fucking 5 hours about where all of my things and where I stand on these things, but we're not gonna do that. Overall, hopefully Jarvis finds something else to play. Maybe he won't. Who knows? According to a lot of news sites, he's a millionaire. So I mean, maybe he's set for life. I don't know. I'm not a millionaire. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure if he's a millionaire, I'm sure he's not all that mad. And I'm sure down the line he could probably petition Epic to lift the ban.
And he probably made a lot of money getting banned.
That's a ton of exposure for sure.
I mean, I never knew who he was.
Yep.
I've never heard of him.
And we're talking about him.
Look at all this free exposure.
Yeah, we're talking about
Yo, Jarvis, hit us up, man.
Hey, come on for an interview.
Yeah. Totally have you on, boy. Come on. I mean, looking at the video, he was a complete douchebag, but I would probably hate him. But his personality has nothing to do with it. Jesus, that was BlizzCon.
That was BlizzCon.
And Jarvis.
Jarvis.
Yeah. God damn. Let's talk about some games we've played. Who wants to start?
I'll go ahead and start because I've only played a couple. I'll start with I did pick up the new Modern Warfare for Call of Duty. It's okay. It's Call of Duty. I'm not one of like the super into Call of Duty guys. Like, it seems like everyone that is super into Call of Duty, it's like a new one comes out and they're like, oh yeah, I'm using this same gun, but they nerfed it and made all these tweaks, and now the bullet drags slightly to the right, and I hate it, man. That 1 millimeter, I notice everything. I'm just shooting a gun at another guy who also has a gun. It's fine, but it's still just Call of Duty.
Did you play the single player?
I have not. I have heard the single player is actually pretty sick. I want to play single player though. I've heard the campaign is actually pretty decent. So, and I have played other COD campaigns, and they do always do pretty well. And then go ahead.
I will say that the best COD single player was Modern Warfare 2, though.
Yeah.
I love that shit. That was also when I played COD.
Yeah. This is the first COD I've bought maybe since Black Ops 2. And I think even then I think someone may have even gifted that to me. I don't know. I played the first Modern Warfare forever. That's the only reason I even bought this one, hoping to reignite that magic. It didn't.
Valiant effort, though.
Yeah. And then I think the one that all of us are going to be talking about, except for North, I love the Outer Worlds.
Yeah, I was thinking we talk about that the last, because it's probably the biggest game we're going to talk about.
All right. I'm done then. Modern Warfare. There's nothing wrong with Modern Warfare. I do the one thing that's bad about Modern Warfare is they removed your default knife. You don't start with a knife. You have to get to like level 25 or something to get a knife.
What the
so
fuck?
I've got like 7 hours in the game, 7 or 8 hours in the game. I still don't have a knife.
So you can't knife people?
No. You hit him with your gun.
Do they die?
It's not an instant kill unless you have the knife. Yeah, you just like pick it up and you don't even like hit him with the butt. You just kind of shove him. It's not. It's like two or three of the melees will kill them. So no, you can't just go around and knife people from day one. You gotta earn your knife.
Oh, okay. That's fucking retarded.
It's really retarded because I ran up on somebody and I'm really bad at COD, so I don't get to knife people that much. But I ran up on a dude and they just kind of shoved him. I'm like, son of a bitch. And of course, I died.
Well, shit. It's COD. It's probably the same COD that it's every year, incrementally changing.
If you like Call of Duties, then you'll like this Call of Duty. But I think I've done it probably the right way. Like you said, it is just incremental changes. So just come in like every 4 years and it'll finally feel like a sequel.
Yeah, probably. Well, shit.
I'm done.
Hit it, Trevor.
I played a few things. Some of them I'm just going to go over really fast because, it's whatever.
Are they all VR games?
Yeah, except for Outer Worlds. So
I'm just gonna put VR games then here. Yoink.
Okay. So first thing I played Trover versus or Trover Saves the Universe. It's a weird game. Basically, if you like Rick and Morty, I would say you might like the game. They do have it on not VR. I wouldn't suggest doing that because the gameplay would be very simple, I guess, for non-VR. But I'm not going to go into the story because the story makes no goddamn sense at all. So wacky characters, Rick and Morty style, whatnot. It was fun, but like I said, only play in VR. Don't play the non-VR version. I actually bought Beat Saber, which I thought I was not going to like at all. I was like, it looks like something that might be okay or whatnot, but I fucking played it. I'm addicted to that game now. Like, I'm playing it, and like I'll be like, just fucking. You're wearing the VR headset, so you're like, when you move around a lot, like you start sweating all in this area, and like I'll take it off, and like I'll just be pouring sweat from my eye sockets. But Beat Saber, really, really fun. I would say if you don't think you'll like that kind of game, you'll like it. Because I don't know why, it's just, if you ever played like Guitar Hero back in the day, it's, just addicting like that, So, What else did I play? Played Duck Season. I was talking about this earlier. Duck Season. I'm not going to go into spoilers, but it seems like the regular like NES Duck Season game, but just in VR and updated and stuff. But then it has like some weird stuff that goes on, and it just takes a wild turn, and has multiple endings, like 7 endings that you can get and stuff. And then there's a lot. Like I was telling Tom earlier, like I think like 45% of the game is finding secrets in secret areas and stuff. Like it's weird, but I don't know if it's worth $20. It's $20 right now, I think. I don't know if it's worth $20, so I want to hold off on that. What else did I play? Borderlands 2 VR. Got terrible reviews when it came out. I enjoy it. Apparently they said that it worked on the HTC Vive, and apparently it did not. And someone fucked up either on Borderlands or Gearbox's part or in Steam's part, but they had put that it worked for the HTC Vive, so all these people bought it, and it didn't work. So they left bad reviews. So it got review bombed at first, and then I think it kind of came back up. I think after that, people were talking about the graphics are really, really bad, or like PS2 and stuff, but I didn't see any of that. It looked fine to me. It looked like Borderlands 2, which is, it's an older game, so it's whatever. I will say, when I bought it, I was like, okay, I'm going to play as either the Gunzerker, because that seems like, you're shooting, so that seems like a good thing for VR, or I'm going to play as Maya because I can kind of aim, her power. Maya's fucking broken. She doesn't work. I don't know if they fixed it yet or not, but like her special power, it'll activate, but it will not lock on to a single fucking enemy at all. Like I just cannot get it to lock on. So as of right now, for me, her character's broken. So kind of sucks. I did say this to you guys a few days ago that I was mistaken on. I thought the game was just the base game. But they're actually like it does come with all the DLC and all the new characters and all that stuff. It's a separate download for free, so you have to get that. That's it. Outer Worlds.
Hold up a minute.
Subnautica. I did Subnautica. Subnautica VR is fucking amazing.
Is it scary?
Oh yeah, it's like if you're like me, like. I'm scared of video game oceans. Like I don't know, like real life ocean, I'm fine. I'm whatever. I go swim, do whatever. Video game ocean, I know that there could be any fucking thing in there. Like it doesn't like, I'm not worried about a kraken coming out of the real life ocean, but in the game, I'm worried about a kraken coming out of nowhere. So, video game ocean scared the shit out of me, and like Subnautica, just like playing it normally, I was like kind of like I would be like, oh shit, I'm gonna go in this area. Oh god. In VR, I'm like scared to death because like it's kind of crazy because like the you really notice it when you get in the submarine, not the big submarine, but the smaller one. It really feels like you're in the fucking submarine. I guess it's weird. Because you play with a mouse and keyboard or whatever, so you're sitting in your chair, but you can look around and you see like the submarine inside, and then you control the submarine separately from where your head movement. So it's just a very realistic kind of thing, I guess. So if you have VR, I would definitely suggest Subnautica. Would be my number one choice to play. Yeah,
I'd be scared shitless.
Same.
Oh yeah, it's. Like, I quit playing it. I haven't beat it yet. I quit playing it because I'm getting to the part in the game where I have to go into Leviathan territory. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that right now. So I just kind of stopped playing and started playing other stuff. But I got to get back into it.
I remember when I first picked up Subnautica, and it took me like good 10 minutes to convince myself into jumping into the water because it was so scary.
Shit,
I can't even imagine like VR.
Too.
Yeah.
The motion sickness thing, I think I said this in the last episode about VR. Like, they said, like, I did some research into it, and they said, like, I think like 60% of people get motion sickness when you first started playing VR. It's just a thing that's going to happen. When it happens, just take it off, rest, and make sure your either nausea or headache or whatever's happening to you goes away 100%, and then try again the next day or later on that day or whatever. And then after like 3 or 4 days, it should be almost completely gone, and then you'll be fine to play whatever.
So remember, kids, hurt yourself more, and eventually you'll just overcome it.
Well, no, that's the thing. They said that if you try to fight through it, your brain will start associating, say you get nausea, your brain will start associating nausea with putting the VR headset on and stuff. So you'll just get sick no matter what. So they said that's why you should take it off and don't try to fight through it.
So remember, kids, hurt yourself sneakily and you will overcome it.
Yeah.
Joe, you're muted.
You're building up your immune system.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what you do. All right, I got one game I want to talk about before we jump into the main thing. I streamed this today, and I can actually too. I can show you guys.
Is this Legend of Bumbo?
It's Legend of Bumbo. Yeah. So Legend of Bumbo is Edmund Macmillan's newest game, and is actually pretty enjoyable. So it's weird. It's weird to explain. It's this match 3 kind of situation where you're not matching 3 or matching 4, and depending on what you match, it does different things. So the yellow pea, or the poop makes a barrier. The yellow pea gives you more moves. The boogers, the green boogers, prevent enemies from attacking, and the black teeth and the bones do damage. And then on the here on the right side we have like spells. So every time you match something, they hop up here. Oh shit, I'm just doing everything. They hop up here into this row, and when you amass a certain amount, then you can do a spell. Like, it tells you how many P tiers you need to get, and then you can use the spell, or how many teeth or whatever. And then they do different things. And when you play the game, you get more items, and then you can use different builds. It kind of meshes this match 3 system with Slay the Spire and kind of dicey dungeons, I guess. That's how at least Edmund himself put it. I'm a fan of Edmund Macmillan. I've been pretty open about that. I buy anything he makes, essentially. I preach a lot about no pre-orders and never buying games blind, and I adhere to those rules. But Edmund Macmillan is the only one that I give a pass. I don't care what he makes, because I think I'm interested in seeing what weird shit he does. And I mean, this is definitely how do you explain this game? Like, what the fuck are we looking at?
I have no idea what I'm looking at right now.
and see, that's the weird thing. Like, it's very easy to understand. Like, the gameplay of it is very easy to get into. It has very simple rules and everything. But as you peel away the game, it gets more difficult, and the strategy gets more difficult. And it has all sorts of weird things. And I genuinely like this game. It's a weird fucking game. And I honestly, like, it's hard for me to like recommend this game right now. I played it for like 2 hours. Just a lot of things that I don't know about it yet. So I don't know. I'm gonna play more of it. It'll probably be like my off-stream kind of game, because I can put it in a neat little windowed mode and just play it. But yeah, I'm happy when I've been waiting for this game for a long time. Edmund Macmillan is one of the few developers I actively follow, on social media, and he's been teasing this game for a long time. He's done a lot of live streams on YouTube of this. I haven't watched those too much because I did want to go semi-blind into this game. Yeah, this is Legend of Bumbo. It's a prequel to Binding of Isaac, believe it or not. The Binding of Isaac has a surprising amount of lore behind it, and Bumbo himself is a character in Isaac as an item you can get. And yeah, it's a weird game. It's a weird fucking game, just like Isaac is a weird game.
Do you think the replayability is going to be just as big as Isaac's?
Oh god, no. I have over 1,000 hours in Isaac. I'm surprised if I get up to 200 hours with this one. Like any game that is like, oh, this game is replayable, I'm like, no, it isn't. It will never be as replayable as Isaac. No game will ever be more played for me than Isaac. Dead Cells is getting there. I mean, in Dead Cells, I recently saw this like today. I have about 920 hours in Dead Cells now. So I'm closing on that 1K mark on that one.
Awesome.
But yeah, Bumbo is available now for everybody. I think it's $15. It's a weird fucking game.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I mean it's. I'm gonna refrain from ever telling people what is a lot of money and not a lot of money, but yeah, this is $50, and if that is something that you consider not a huge investment, then consider getting this game, I guess. It's a difficult game. It's way more difficult than Isaac. A lot of it has to do like I'm not that deep into the strategy of the game yet. I can see it how you were supposed to do it. How you're supposed to think ahead and think about the moves you're going to make in 1 turn, 2 turns, whatever turns. and calculate yourself, oh, if I do this, then I can use this spell, and if I take this item, it'll complement what I have here, and yada yada yada. So definitely, I think it's a thinking man's game.
Looks like an intellectuals kind of game.
Yeah, you just stab that poop.
Yeah, with a needle.
With a needle, a dirty needle, I'm sure.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's why the damage goes up, because it gets dirtier and dirtier.
Oh god.
It says damage goes up with each hit.
You coat it with shit and then it just deals more damage. Disease-ridden fucking needle. Yeah, it's an Edmund game. It has a lot of poop and farts and boogers and weird things. I like it though.
Yes, I mean it looks fun.
Yeah, it definitely looks like a good time. I might pick it up.
At that price, how could you not?
I'm losing money.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I think we're gonna go to the main game then. I'm gonna first change the title here. Anybody can start talking.
Outward. I was like, what are we doing?
Yeah,
Outer
Worlds.
Worlds.
Yeah, the Outer Worlds. Yeah, that's exactly.
I probably have the least amount of time in it. I think I only have like maybe 7 or 8 hours in it. So I'm still enjoying it pretty thoroughly though. I always look forward to playing it. It's a super fun game, even for someone who's never played any of the Fallouts, and I've never really been too big on Bethesda games in general. But this is, I'm definitely I'm enjoying it more than I thought I was, for sure. Or thought that I would, only because I know that like a lot of those are super duper plot heavy, even for me, just because of all the dialogue options and like everything has multiple options, and but so much of that is just that, options, that I don't feel, after I kind of got away from that headspace of I need to experience every part of this game, and I've just started going like, hey, you know what? I'm just gonna roll through it. If I click things, then that's great. If I don't, that's still great. I'm still enjoying the game, even if I don't do 100% of every dialogue option. Oh yeah, there's me with my club looking for someone to club.
Yeah.
Oh, this,
Have you?
this is where I was blown away the first time, I believe, by how good this game looked. Because I crested this hill and saw the town of Edgewater, and it just blew me away how good everything looked in that game. And I think here shortly, I'm not 100% certain, but I think I even look up and you can see the other planets like surrounding the world. It's a really gorgeous game without really being that resource intensive.
Mm. It's very well optimized too on PC, and obviously probably on console too.
Yeah, and this
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm really enjoying it, and I look forward to playing it every time I do, just because of it's got a good sense of humor, and the playing the actual playing the game is good too. It feels good to play. It doesn't feel clunky or slow or anything like that.
It has all these very Obsidian kind of things in it. Obsidian being the developer of the game. I have played New Vegas. New Vegas is one of my favorite games of all time. Which probably pisses off Bethesda more than anything else, because it's not made by fucking Bethesda. I really enjoy Outer Worlds. I think this is a legitimate contender for my game of the year. It'll be either this or Sekiro, and you can find out which one it is next month. Place your bets now. Anyway, yeah, like Joe said, what I really like about the game is the dialogue. I am the one who exhausts all dialogue options, and which is the reason why my character is also built very dialogue heavy, because I want to see the dialogue, and I'm the kind of dude who I was very, 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 very happy that the developers thought about this. I don't like to make changes or make choices in games that have everlasting consequences. Like, without spoiling at least too much, there is a choice you need to make in the game on the first planet that will drastically impact something. It involves two factions, and essentially one of the factions will hate you. Gorbish and we both found a way to fuck over somebody and then unfuck the fucked situation. And I honestly, I really enjoyed that, because I got to make my hard choice, and then I didn't really like undo the hard choice necessarily. I just went further ahead with the choice and still fucked over somebody, but at the same time I left the planet with nobody hating me. Except maybe one dude. But yeah. And I enjoyed that. Like you can the game gives you choices, and this is what I love with RPG games. Like, they present a situation and you can choose what you do. Are you a good guy, a bad guy, a neutral guy? Are you gonna talk your way through the situation, or are you gonna blast someone's head in? I really want to do a kill 'em all run on this game.
You can kill everyone in this game, right? I don't think there's anyone off limits.
I'm not sure.
Because I did a test rampage and just went through a city and I just murdered everyone. And I didn't save it, but like, there were people that I had active quests for and stuff, and I just went in there and just murdered them. And so I think you can. I think you can kill everyone.
Yeah, I mean, Obsidian did the same thing, almost the same thing with Fallout New Vegas. There were very specific NPCs that you could not kill in New Vegas. and mostly the reason why you couldn't kill those NPCs is it was because it would break the game. And I think they've made this game so that you could kill everyone. Because I think Obsidian noticed that people who played a lot of New Vegas did these kill all runs. And I want to do one of those runs. I've been watching Joe play this, and I've noted to myself that Joe and I have vastly different playstyles in this game, which I also view as a massive positive of this game. You can play as a melee character, you can play as a ranged character, you can play as a dialogue heavy character, you can have a 0 intelligence and be an imbecile. You can be neutral, good, evil, or chaotic, or whatever. Like this is what I think a role-playing game is. I highly fucking recommend Outer Worlds. You can play it on Xbox Game Pass for maybe $1. I don't know.
Buck.
Yeah.
Buckaroo.
I guess I would say I agree with both of you on, like you said, like how it looks amazing, gameplay, runs fine, all that stuff. I do have some complaints about the game, and this might just be me. I haven't finished the game, so it might be things that I haven't seen yet or things like that. But like, I feel like it's lacking like weapons and things like that. Like, because to me it seemed like there's only like 5 different types of guns, and then like 5 melee weapons, and that's it. So there's like 10 weapons total. You might get some that do a little bit more damage, but they don't look different, they don't feel different, they don't play different. Like, it's just, so I feel like with games like Fallout, like you have a very wider range of weapons. I don't know if that makes. I don't know. It feels like you do. I will say that to me, at least in Fallout, I feel like I have a wider range of weapons and armors and things like that. And in this game, I feel like all the armors look almost identical. Where I don't feel like I'm getting a new armor. I just feel like I'm just getting an upgraded set of the same thing. Same thing with weapons. I just feel like I'm just getting, I might as well just go to the workbench and be like, oh, I extended my barrel just a tiny bit, but I really didn't, because it looks the exact same. So that right there, I wish there was more. And then fuck, there was something else I don't remember now. Lost my train of thought.
See, I do agree though.
I know what it was.
Okay.
I think I want to say it before I forget. I don't mind the going to different planets and things like that. That's perfectly fine. But for me personally, I feel like when I have these separate planets, it's making the world seem smaller. Like, I don't feel like I'm in this ginormous game, which I probably am. I'm sure, like, if you combine everything together, it might even be a bigger map than, say, Fallout 4 or another game of the New Vegas or something like that. But it still feels small to me, because it's like everything is isolated, if that makes sense.
It makes sense to me.
Yeah.
They did talk about that during development and why they did it this way. And basically it boiled down to not having enough resources to make one singular open world.
Yeah.
I will say you're not just imagining things on there being less, because it definitely is a much smaller game than Bethesda games or even New Vegas. I think the last time I looked at how long to beat, the completionist, so doing 100% of the quests and everything, it's only a little over 30 hours, like 33, 34 hours for a completionist run of a game like this. I feel like some people spend longer on character creation and like Skyrim. I mean, I have played some Skyrim, and I played like 20 hours of it before I even got like advanced the story at all. I just got lost in the world.
Sewer.
More or less. But I feel like it definitely is almost, it's weirdly small compared to other games in the same genre.
Yeah, like I feel like in this game, there was one more thing, but like your companions and even yourself, like I feel like I've gotten a particular gun, and I'm like, okay, well this gun is fucking the best gun in the game apparently, because I got this in the beginning of the game and I haven't replaced it with anything else since, because it's just dominating everything. It does more damage than anything else, and until I get the same gun that does a little bit higher damage, that's when I replace it with the same exact gun. Like, and same thing with the companions. Like I gave them weapons, and I haven't like been like, oh, I found a better weapon for them. Like it's the same weapons that we're using throughout the entire game so far. And like I was saying with the armor thing, like, you know, like I like to like when I have companions in games, I like to be like make them like look individual and like kind of dress them up and things like that in their own armor and stuff. And I just feel like everyone looks exactly the fucking same because they're all wearing the same exact armors. Because there's no like this armor is just as good as this one, but it just looks different. It's like, no, this is the best armor at this point in time, and this is the only one. So you have to give everyone the same armor if you want them to be, you know, maxed out. We'll say. With that, I would also say the companions in the game, which I do think is a big part of the game because they actually interact with people when you talk to them, other NPCs and stuff, and can kind of dictate how the conversation goes. Like there's a couple of them that I feel like stand out. I think there's 6 total, and like 2 of them I'm kind of like, these 2 kind of stand out to me, but the other 4 are just generic random people that I'm like, oh, they just seem like just a random person you would just find. Like they don't have anything that stands out to me.
I do agree with the companions. There's a couple that stand out, and then there's I found one companion on a ship. I think he is a companion that everybody gets if you don't dismiss him completely. I feel like he is like when I got him, I felt like this is like I could replace this dude with anybody, and it's the same guy.
Mm-hmm.
He lacked like personality that other companions have, particularly Parvati, I think, and
yep.
And
I like Parvati. I think she's cool.
I'm purposefully avoiding naming companions because I know Joe has missed a companion.
I do know the one I missed in the first town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vicar.
I'm real upset about that. Yeah.
Yeah, Vicar Max.
And there's a very specific reason I can't get him.
Yeah, because you fucked the town over.
Hey, spoilers now.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, a coworker told me that, and I was like, "Dang it! I actually liked the vicar," and then he told me that, and I was like, "Man, it pisses me off."
This is.
I want to.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to talk about a little bit about this game, but my opinions are highly invalid because I haven't played this game. But one thing that I really hate is that you can, at least not to my knowledge, you can't change the FOE. So that's
I believe you can't.
No. Can?
Yeah, I believe you can't.
Yeah, and it seems like you're walking like this.
Yeah, I mean,
it's so annoying.
I did commend Obsidian from being like Obsidian is a PC developer. Like that's what they are. They've always been PC developers. And I did commend them that when you install the game and launch it for the first time, the default option is borderless windowed mode. That is something no fucking game does, but it is the mode I want in every game on default. So I tip my hat towards Obsidian for doing that. The lack of an FOV slider, I want to bet that it has to do with technical issues. Why it's not there.
Yeah, definitely. But it's like Joe was standing next to that counter and he looked like that tuna can, and all you could see is that tuna can on the table. And he wasn't that close to the table.
Look,
And
bro,
it's
we're not
gonna-
all accustomed to 180 FOV, bro.
Yeah. And also, like, to me, this game seems like a walk and talk simulator.
There's a lot of talking. That's why
Yeah,
I do
there's a lot of
swinging.
talking. If you don't like talking,
I skip a lot of the talking.
and
But see, that's what
I
you
haven't
can
really
do.
seen any action. Like I saw, I think.
Yeah, I
I
don't
saw
think I've
Sully
done any
hit
action at
someone.
all.
Yeah, and
Hey, it's
kinda
not
weird.
my fault. Joe is fucking dragging his ass over something.
Hey, I'm not disagreeing.
But it seems like there isn't that many like combat situations, and that's what I like in RPGs. Like not only the talking and walking, but and exploring, but also the combat, which I haven't really seen that much. And it feels like it's something we just gotta put a small obstacle here. Let's like put like 2 guards, fight them off, or something like that. And I feel like that's what it is right now. And I
I'm
would
only-
somehow like to like compare this to like Death Stranding, but instead of like bringing packages to another location, you're just freely talking to everyone and doing what you want.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was
I
gonna
mean,
say.
There's definitely less combat in this than in an action game. This is not an action game.
Oh, combat.
Yeah, there's combat right here, man. The fucker.
And I'm about
Whacking
to
him in the
die.
dick with that
We finally
mace.
get to combat and I'm gonna die. Oh, there he goes. Come on now.
Like was like that small obstacle I was talking about. It's like you don't necessarily have to kill them. You can like sneak around, but
Oh, he got me.
it's still there. But it's not like that satisfying of a combat situation.
I mean, the combat is not the best combat in video games by any stretch. The combat is there as a mechanic, a basic mechanic. And I don't play this game for the combat. And that's, I think, the beauty of the game is that you can choose how to play this game. And I mean, if you play this for the combat and if you think the combat sucks ass, then I think the game sucks ass for you. If you don't want to do the walking and talking, if you don't want to explore every nook and cranny there is to explore on every single planet, if you just want to run and gun, then I think this is the wrong game for you. I do, however, think that you can play Modern Warfare if you want to run and gun.
Yep.
But I mean, yeah, is this the best game ever made? No, definitely not. Is this a compelling RPG game? I think yes. Is this a big budget AAA game? No. This is
Does it have like a solid story? Like, does it have?
I mean, so far I think the story is good. I'm very
depends.
shit with. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm so
You
shit
can have
with
30,
stories.
30 hours of story or 11 minutes of story.
Yeah,
Up to you.
Yeah.
yeah.
But
the
it
11
doesn't have like a big quest line that is the main quest line.
It has.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. But you can complete it in 11 minutes.
Yeah, so the world record speedrun right now is 11 minutes. This,
Yeah.
Well,
this
Go ahead.
this is a game that you can, if you know what you're doing, you can skip all of the game. But
Yeah, I was
that's
very
only if you know.
surprised. I was very surprised that at least the run that I saw, the 11-minute run, it did not look like they used any glitches or anything. It looks like it's just straight playing the game, and they still got an 11-minute run, which is kind of crazy to me.
Well, and you have to remember that speedruns have multiple categories. So, this one, typically on an any percent for this, it's just getting to the end screen as soon as possible. And I don't feel like this is too much of a spoiler because it's right at the beginning, but I wouldn't be surprised if you could turn in Phineas like as soon as possible and that end the game really quick. So, the obviously the main story, it does have a main storyline, but I bet there's a real quick way, especially in a game where you can do so much, just to hurry up and get to the end screen.
Yeah, I don't know what happens if you rat out Phineas. because you can do that. It is an option. And I'm interested in seeing what happens if you pick that option, because I did not pick that option. And that's also like I think the beauty of this game is that this is very much that Bethesda formula that Obsidian just does better than Bethesda themselves, I think. Is that they have a main quest and everything. It's very kind of loosely put together, I think, because you can not in a traditional sense, you cannot break the game, but you can sequence break the game. You can skip parts, go to places in a certain order if you know what you're doing. And it's the same with New Vegas. When you start New Vegas, you can, from the beginning town, this is spoilers for New Vegas, by the way, you can go straight to New Vegas itself, the shortest way, but you will be stopped by an NPC who says, don't go that way, you will die. You can do that. You can go that shorter way and survive and beat the game in record time, or you can go the intended way, what the developers wanted, and go loop around the entire map. And when you do loop around the entire map, you pick up side quests from different towns, and you talk to different people, and you find the companions and whatever. But you can skip all that without glitching or anything, by just going the dangerous way across the Cazador's field or whatever. I think there's a couple of death claws there too. And then you just talk to Mr. House, and then you kill his ass, and then the game ends.
Wait, you kill Mr. House?
In New Vegas, yeah, you can kill him. Yeah, I mean, his name is Mr. House.
I know. I was fucking with you
Oh, okay.
about spoilers.
Oh, shit.
Well, he said he was gonna spoil.
I know.
He did give us the spoiler one.
I mean, I assume that anybody who's interested in New Vegas probably would have played New Vegas at this point. It's such a well-known game. And I do recommend playing. I mean, you don't have to kill Mr. House. If you don't kill Mr. House, the game goes on forever. Not really, but yeah, ultimately I like Outer Worlds. I think it's a solid game. A very good game. One of this year's best, honestly.
Yeah, with all my gripes, I still like the game.
Yeah, I mean all the complaints I do have, like you said, I have noticed that there aren't a lot of weapons, and a lot of the armors, even if they do look different, like a lot of the different armors are just different colored armors.
Yeah.
So like you can actually get through the game without, I don't know how much into the workshop you've messed with, but you can actually get through the game without ever changing your weapon at all. You can just dismantle every other weapon and just keep upgrading yours.
That is something I have noticed, that you necessarily don't ever get upgrades for your weapons if you just keep tinkering with your current ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, sure, it might be like shitty game design. And again, it comes down to how do you want to play the game? What do you look for in this game? If you go into this playing a shooter, then I don't think this is a compelling shooter. But sure, if you have fun with it as a shooter, then
What were you trying to do there, Grady?
I was trying to loot this body, sneak through these landmines. I failed.
see, when I got to this point, I believe I just ran through the mines, not like understanding what I was doing.
You didn't try to step on every single one of them? That's also
I was
a
just trying to
strategy.
show him how
apparently.
tough I was. It was a power play.
Yeah, power play, man.
Anyway, what I was saying was even with like the limited amount of weapons and the finite amount of gear, I still think it's a great game. I think that all the little complaints and nitpicks here and there don't really affect it as a game that much at all.
Yeah, definitely not a perfect game. Not close to 10 out of 10. I'd give this an 8 out of 10. And it's
I don't know what I would
seriously,
give it.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't finished it yet, but if the 30 hours, like you do everything in 30 hours, I'm pretty close to 30 hours. So, and I am in the process of getting the last companion. So I kind of feel like I'm pretty close.
I've gotten all the companions, so you should definitely be able to.
Yeah, I am in the process of getting the last one. Like I won't miss her or anything.
Okay, I was gonna say because I'm not near the end at all.
Oh, you're not?
No.
Okay, maybe I'm just slow as shit.
I hadn't even got off Monarch.
Oh, well, I'm just slow then, I guess. Maybe I'll take 60 hours to beat this shit. I don't know.
Nothing wrong with that.
Not wrong there, yeah. Before we go, if anything doesn't have anything else to add to Other Worlds, before we go, let's quickly talk about Death Stranding and why none of us has played it. Because none of us has played it.
I haven't played it because I've heard how drawn out it is. And I don't think if I were to buy it in the middle of the week, I don't think I could play it enough to play it. If that makes sense. Like I feel like that from what I've heard, there's so much downtime in that game that if I picked it up during the week, I couldn't dedicate enough time to really get it until the weekend. That's the biggest reason I haven't picked it up yet.
I've watched a lot of Death Stranding. And this is the reason why I don't promise I'll play games on stream or ever. And I hate myself for it because I did hype up Death Stranding on my own streams and I said that I'd definitely play it. And here we are. Definitely not playing it right now. Maybe next summer.
I'm definitely disappointed because I wanted to see you play it.
Yeah, and I mean, Gorby was also wanting to see me play it. I think I will play it next summer when it comes out on PC when there's nothing else to play. I will say that Death Stranding looks fucking gorgeous. I think that I think I need a particular mindset by going into it. I want to see what Kojima has done. And the reception of the game has been pretty decisive. You either kind of love it or you kind of hate it. I do acknowledge that the gameplay itself looks boring as hell because you're literally delivering packages for the majority of the game. But there's people out there on the interwebs who are trying to convince people to give this game a shot, and they cannot really explain why they like this game so much. I think the vast majority of people I've seen on Twitter who are not notable people on social media, but just that I follow on Twitter, everyone has liked Death Stranding. The only negative reviews I've seen or negative like reception is from reviewers and more high profile people on social media.
I feel like people don't know what they're getting into, and they go the game with a mindset of, oh, it's gonna be, I don't know, a shooter or something. Maybe it's gonna be fun, but it's gonna end up being like a movie or or like Outer Worlds. You just talk to people and walk around.
And that's kind of on purpose, I guess, because it's part of its marketing. I mean, it's tough it wouldn't surprise me at all if that game ended up not doing that well, just because no one knows what they're getting into. A lot of people can't afford $60 just to see if they're gonna maybe like a game.
Yeah, I mean, technically they gave you an hour straight of gameplay.
Exactly, and it looked boring as shit.
I mean, when we watched that we watched some of it a few podcasts ago and whatnot, and I'm pretty sure I said then too, like I wasn't excited about the game at all. Like it just didn't look exciting to me. But with that being said, I didn't think of it as like, oh, this is going to be a shooter. By the way, I don't like Kojima's games. I don't like Metal Gear Solid. I don't like anything he's put out. But this game, I could go into it and not see it as a, what am I trying to say? I didn't think of it as this is going to be a shooter when I saw it. I mean, we watched an hour of gameplay and it looked the opposite of what a shooter is. So when my girlfriend bought it and I've watched her play it, it looked kind of boring, but I could see myself playing it and just having fun with it, just as a story-driven game, not an action game. But if I want to just listen to a story and get a story, I would play it. But yeah, I think people that just had the mindset of this is Kojima, it's going to be like Metal Gear Solid, well, they were just idiots to think that, because he showed us the game and the game was not that.
I do also blame the marketing a little bit. It doesn't really help when Kojima himself says that he doesn't know what the game is. I mean, that really doesn't spark confidence. And yeah. I mean, the entire marketing was super weird.
I can definitely like see myself playing the game, and there's just gonna be like a 50-minute scene where Sam, well, Norman Reedus is just watering plants or something like that, and like singing to himself. Like that is something I expect to see when I would play Dead Stranding. And it's definitely not what most people think that the game is going to be. And it's
I've heard. Oh, continue. I thought you were done.
Well, I'm basically done. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I've heard, and this may or may not be true. I don't know. But I've heard that after you put 10 plus hours into the game, it like ramps up. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means it becomes a shooter or if it's not, or I don't know what that means. But
it doesn't become a shooter.
Okay.
Like, if anybody is still hoping it'll be a shooter, it's not a shooter. And do not go into that game with that mindset.
It's gonna have more action, I feel, at that point, but it's not gonna be like shooter action. It's just gonna be like you running around away from bad guys.
Yeah, I've heard this. What Trevor said is the version I've heard is that the game ramps up after when the third chapter of the game starts. And the most I've seen is from I guess chapter 1 and 2 or prologue or whatever. That's what most of us saw in the pre-release marketing material. And I've seen glimpses of what happens later in the game. And it's not green hills and mountains anymore. But yeah, right now I'm not gonna play Death Stranding. I'm sorry, everybody. I'll play it next year. Maybe.
It goes on sale.
That's probably when I'll pick it up, is whenever it goes on sale.
You can pre-order that motherfucker on Steam right now for 60 buckaroos.
What a deal.
What a deal, yeah.
Pre-order.
It's like the worst kind of pre-orders when they don't even give you a discount.
Yeah.
Like, why? Why do you do that? Yeah.
I'm just really happy for all those people that got a collector's edition with a life-size baby in a jar.
Right in the money.
I will say I don't know how much of a difference it would make to watch someone streaming it or whatnot, but like looking at it like on an actual TV with someone playing it, because like I said, my girlfriend's been playing it. It looks amazing. Like the cutscenes and stuff, and like when they have close-ups of the monsters and stuff, it's like it looks real. Like it looks good. One of the best looking games I've seen. I will say that. I will give it that.
Thank you to Guerrilla Games, because Kojima is using the Decima engine, which is made by Guerrilla Games. the makers of Killzone and Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, I will say, with the story and stuff, this isn't like too big of a spoiler at all. It's not like detailed story, but like I think Kojima said that his whole like idea behind the game was like to like basically poke fun of like how we are now with social media and things and all connected and things like that, and like we're actually kind of disconnected with social media and whatnot. And he's doing this whole story based on that. But then he goes in there and puts fucking advertisements for products in the game. And me and Tom were talking about this earlier, and we're like, well, that could be him like poking fun of how other games put product advertisements in their game. But if he was going to do that, the way he should have done that was do fake products in his game, not real products like Monster and Norman Reedus's AMC TV show that's out or coming out or whatever.
Which is not the Walking Dead series. It's another AMC Norman Reedus show where he drives a motorcycle.
It's called like Ride or something.
Yeah, but not the Walking Dead, where he also rides a motorcycle.
That is in the game. This new show.
Yeah. So
advertisements for it.
Yeah.
Like
so when you go
ad.
to when you have Norman Reedus, when you want him to go take a shower, and instead of getting to see his
ding dong,
like we all wanted to see, the shower door shuts, and then a big ad for his TV show comes over the shower door.
I'll show you.
Yeah.
That makes me not want to play this game.
This is what you see. This right here.
Yeah.
It's literally the show.
And then there's another in the same room that you're in. This is like your kind of like hub room. There's actually a screenshot that like
I'll show you.
It's like it's 95% Monster energy drink.
I'll show you.
It's the screen.
It's this one.
And on top of that,
this is like
yeah. So and on top of this, when you walk around to like get your stamina back, you drink Monster energy drink.
Oh,
I don't know about you guys, but I want a Monster energy drink right now.
That's so good. It's almost admirable how shameless it is.
I know.
Yeah.
And I mean like shit.
Those are the
Unleash
most
the
realistic
beast.
looking cans I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean this is the Monster can. It's right here. And then there's Norman Reedus back there. You're like, what the fuck?
Like,
And he drinks
honestly,
Monster.
I don't really mind that.
I think it's jarring. It takes me right out of the game.
I don't think it goes with the story at all. That's what I don't like about it. Is like I said, if he wanted to even put fake drinks there or something, then maybe. But like, it doesn't make sense for you to be in this. Well, I don't know if it's post-apocalyptic or what, but this post-apocalyptic land where you're carrying dead babies in your belly and shit. Why are you drinking Monster Energy? Why are they still there like that? Like, it doesn't make sense. Why is this TV show being shown? It doesn't make sense for the story.
Yeah, the TV show makes no fucking sense.
Yeah.
Because they're advertising an AMC TV show, a real network with a real TV show where Norman Reedus rides a bicycle, not a motorcycle. Might as well be a bicycle, motherfuckers.
Was that Godzilla on the back of that motorcycle, by the
I
way?
think it's like a puppet or something. I don't know.
It was some kind of puppet or something.
Wait, Godzilla behind the fan?
It's like some weird creature on the back of it.
It looked like an old school Godzilla suit or something.
Yeah, I don't know what this is.
But I think for even people that are like, this game is for
that's an old Godzilla head on a scarecrow jacket. Is that a?
Yeah.
It's got like.
It looks like a leather jacket, but I don't know. And Norman Reedus is back there taking a shit or something.
There's actually a guy taking a shit on the front if you look.
Yeah, this is a toilet.
Guy.
It's a toilet slash a shower.
But yeah, so like even people that say that this game is for the story and not the the action and stuff, this just fucking ruins it for me. Like, I don't understand why they would do. Well, I understand why they did it, but
money.
Yeah, money.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's jarring. I honestly think it's very jarring. It weird shit, man. Fucking weird shit. I don't want blatant product placement in my video games. Come on.
Yeah.
Like fucking NBA did it and now Dead Stranding is doing it.
I wouldn't be mad about it, like you guys said though, if it just made sense. Like if it wasn't Norman Reedus playing the main character, then it would be fine if Norman Reedus was advertised somewhere. But
Yep.
it's the same. It's him. It's the guy. That doesn't make any sense in universe.
If Outer Worlds had Monster Energy drink in the game, I'd be perfectly fine with it. Because that game is all about corporatization taking over the planets or stuff.
Exactly, but I'd still like Outer Worlds does it. I still prefer made up companies.
Yeah, I would prefer it, but if they did it, I'm just saying I would understand it. I would be like,
it would make more sense in that kind of scenario than it would in
definitely
in Death Stranding.
Definitely would make more sense. And I would go a step further if they put Monster Energy drink in Outer Worlds, then I would want all the corporate things being real things. Imagine seeing Apple, Microsoft, or like fucking anything, Google being like the bad guys. I mean, Google would never go along with it.
If you have to shoot Elon Musk in the face to win the game.
Yeah, I would fucking... even though my man Elon, but I would shoot that motherfucker in the face if I win the game.
He drops a flamethrower.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not a flamethrower. Because it's called not a flamethrower.
Yeah, it's definitely not a flamethrower. Even though it
throws
flames. Yeah. But yeah, overall, Death Stranding, it got like positive reception. The Metacritic score is what you expect. It's 10s and 0s, and nothing in between. And they sit currently. The user Metacritic is about in the 60s, and the professional reviewers is around the 80s. I think even the media was kind of polarized. And it also was noted that the game scored less in the States than elsewhere. And Kojima got a little bit memed on because he did an interview with an Italian, I guess, games paper or whatever, where he said something along the lines that the game flies over Americans. And people interpreted it as Americans just being too stupid to understand the game. And that's not really what he said. And that's not definitely what he meant. He talked about first-person shooters being popular in America, and this not being that, it naturally doesn't draw the same crowd because it's a different form of game and a different game. And not necessarily something that Americans want to play, which why he thinks it scored less.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't know. I think it scored pretty all over the fucking place. I know Giant Bomb. I don't remember the dude's name. Andrew, I think. He hates this game. He definitely didn't like it. And then we have on the other side, we have Skill Up, who's a Australian YouTuber and a pretty popular one. He said that this might be his favorite game of all time. And I mean, if that's the spectrum, then I don't know where the fuck I'll land. Probably on the okay-ish. Depends. Like, if it's a super long game, then the problem becomes like I don't know if I'll ever finish it. Like what you guys said about Outer Worlds, that it being a little shorter one, and I'm not saying that you necessarily keep it as a fault that it's a shorter RPG. I welcome a shorter RPG because I mean I dread the day when Cyberpunk comes out, and I dread the day like because I know that fucking game will take forever for me to finish. Like Jesus Christ, I don't have the time. If I can, that's why I enjoy single player linear games. Like I can pop Uncharted on and I'll play 2 days and I'll finish it. Fuck yeah, I love that shit. But when you give me a game like It took me years to finish Skyrim.
I
Multiple
never
playthroughs
finished
too.
it.
You see, that's the problem, yeah. I'm proud of myself that I finished Witcher. The only thing in Witcher I didn't finish was the third and final DLC. Oh no, the second and final DLC. I started it, and I really want to finish it because it's really fucking good. But I have over 100 hours in Witcher, and I honestly believe that I cannot muster a 100-hour game. So Outer Worlds being shorter is something I welcome.
I hope it's successful only because it's a very risky game. The whole situation was extremely risky, and I hope it's successful just so more AAA companies will take those risks. Because like if you stripped away all the famous faces attached to it and all the famous names attached to it, it sounds like something that would be an indie game. It doesn't sound like a AAA title. Just vaguely describing what we know before the game launched. It doesn't sound like something you would hear from the same guy who made Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
So hopefully it's successful just so more big companies will actually continue to experiment instead of sequel after sequel and re-release and remasters, and we'll see though.
Fucking here. I even if I end up hating Death Stranding, I think it's an absolute win for the industry.
100%.
Yep.
It's the reason I play a lot of indie games, because I like to see those things that are not the first person shooters or the super fucking boring RPG games that get released these days. They're not even RPG games, they're action games with RPG elements. And let's call them action games instead of RPGs. Because Outer Worlds.
But you level.
And you
have stats. It's basically Final Fantasy.
Exactly.
Yeah, Tarkov is RPG.
Yeah, Tarkov is even an RPG because you have levels.
The number of people though that I've heard qualify an RPG just by saying you have levels is mind-blowing.
Oh yeah, I mean, I blame people misusing the term RPG, and publishers and developers that just put RPG mechanics in every game. Like if you have a leveling system, the leveling system doesn't make your game an RPG. Yeah, that was a little bit Death Stranding. Maybe we'll talk about Death Stranding in like 8 months or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah, when one of us actually plays it.
Yeah.
That'll help.
What are you gonna do when you play it and you're gonna come back and be like, guys, 8 months ago I set this game, but let me tell you, it's the best game I've ever played.
Every second
Waiting
I
for that
spent
day.
not playing this game yet was a second wasted.
Hey, it might end up there. I don't think that, because what I value most in games is game mechanics. It's the reason Isaac is my favorite game. And I mean there's outliners and exceptions to that, like with everything, but I don't see Death Stranding ever being my favorite game. But who knows? Maybe it is. Maybe it's a masterpiece, a literal masterpiece. Apparently, like, some people think it's a masterpiece. Who knows? Aight.
Yeah, I'll definitely be curious to see where the reviews are this time in a month for sure.
I think that's that. Boom. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
Yeah.
It was a good podcast.
Got a little heated from my part. I apologize.
And that's honestly, I don't even mind. Like whenever, I don't think anyone should on that. That just means that, we're both passionate, and Trevor and North as well, but we're all passionate about the industry and the thing that happens to the people in the industry, because what happens to Jarvis, it affects all of us.
At
I
the
mean,
end of the day, human lives are basically at stake.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
more.
I mean-
It's
More or
yeah,
less.
if you want to really like spell doom and gloom like I did, yeah, sure. I mean, it does affect because Jarvis was made an example, and he's a very public figure. He gets like millions of views per video, and people know what happened. And shit, nobody of us who knew who the fuck he was before this happened, and now we all know what happened and who he is and what he did. And obviously, it when enough people talk about something, it leaves a mark. And then just with BlitzCon and what Blizzard did, it left a mark. It's something we will hopefully remember. And the same with Jarvis. Hopefully we'll remember. Until the next thing happens. And the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing. But it is what it is. I'm definitely passionate about the games industry. Next month, though, these boys don't know what's gonna happen next month. I do.
he's right. We don't.
I do.
I have no idea.
I do. I mean, everyone can probably like bet on something. Next month is the Game Awards show, which is on the 12th of December. We will not have the podcast before the Game Awards show, but I still need to discuss with everyone when we do it. There's also a very huge possibility that next month we'll have a 5th member, not a No Pants member, but a 5th person here on the podcast. And what we are going to do, this is me steamrolling everybody for the time being. We're not gonna recap the Game Awards show like we did on the first episode. Instead, I'm formally announcing the No Pants Game Awards show. Where we're gonna have our own fucking award show. And screw all the other guys. Fuck 'em. Fuck 'em.
That's awesome. I look forward to that.
Yeah. But we'll obviously have to discuss how we're gonna do it. And I'll post on Twitter and Discord and by pigeon mail, I guess, when we're gonna do the episode. A physical No Pants trophy. I mean, sure. I can make one out of cardboard.
Just get a stick and
I could
put a
actually-
wadded up pair of pants on the end of it.
I think I know a store that sells like these small fake trophies, and you can put like something on the bottom.
Do you really expect me to put production value into this shit?
I'll do it. Costs like 5 years or something.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. And also, if anything noteworthy happens, I'd like to keep the show just our version of the Game Awards. But if anything super fucking major happens, which I doubt, we'll probably mention things like if Stadia completely utterly bombs, I think we'll mention it.
Yeah. We'll talk about the shit shows. That's our favorite thing to talk about.
Yeah.
All right,
Exactly.
guys.
Alright, thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you next month. Everybody wave.
Later.
Smile and
Later.
wave, boys. Bye.